What is it now? 89 days until the start of training camp. 89 days to the start of training camp in late July. Are you ready? All the things that, you guys keep saying, you got plenty of time. You got 89 days until you take 90 guys to training camp. Okay? I mean, you're here. Guys are going to go on the field this weekend. You're going to get a chance to see the rookies. They're going to overload the players this weekend on what their responsibilities are going to be. There's no question that when you're a rookie and you go into these OTAs, you know what the coaches are looking for? If you can retain the information that they're trying to teach you. They're gonna give you play after play, technique after technique, and they want to see the ones that are going to have impactful seasons this coming 26 year. Very rarely do you see rookies have impact like you did with Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean. Very rarely. Last year, you had limited guys making limited impact on your team. When you look at the current group here, the question mark will be again, what kind of impact do you think these rookies are going to have on your football season this coming year? I don't know really where people see where you're going to get a lot of impact outside of the number one overall pick. The rest of these guys have to figure out where their role is and what their role is going to be. The coaches have to figure that out. You have no idea. I don't. So I can't make an assessment here on Wednesday, April 29th. That's not going to happen. I don't know, nor do you. But again, what you see, and I get a ton of these on my DMs. Sills, we had an A-plus draft. Sills, we got a guy who's going to make an – look, that's fan talk, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with fan talk. Reality talk is these players got to find a role on this team. There's a lot of good football players on the Eagles. You're just not pushing Mekhi Becton like you did a couple of years out the door because you had a guy in Tyler Steen. If you think you're going to draft a kid in the draft and all of a sudden you're going to put Bell in there in front of Steen, that's not happening. Steen actually played the most snaps of any offensive player last year. You're not just going to freaking replace that guy. There's a couple more dates that I think you should keep in mind. Or I should say a couple more times on the calendar. And that's going to be, okay, June 1, salary cap casualties, and also you could still make deals and trades. And I'll tell you this, without the Jonathan Grenard deal, that's a very mediocre haul of players that you think are going to be an impact on this current football team. Now, again, Howie didn't do anything wrong here. He went best player available. There's no doubt he went best player. Okay? So, when a guy came at him and he was on the board, he didn't really look at need. It kind of matched up, though. Listen, do I think he addressed some of the issues on the football team with some of the players with potential? Yes. Other than that, we won't know. And I don't think you drafted anybody that's going to take anybody's job. There's nobody you've drafted that's going to take anybody's job. And again, Mekhi Lemon is going to be given a job. He's not going to earn a job. He's going to be given a job. To sit there and say that Mekhi Lemon is a better football player than Hollywood Brown or even Elijah Moore is insane. This guy's never run a route against an NFL secondary in his entire life. Hey, he may get into this new offense and he just may flourish. No question about it. And again, you see this here? Here's the one thing with Stowers. He can't block. Well, obviously, You haven't done things for the run game, like everyone is telling you. And to sit there and say that Stowers is going to be an impact when your tight end has never been an impactful player on your team is insane. Based on what? The tight end position has been the number 3 position in the offense the last 5 years. And all of a sudden, Stowers is now better than Dallas Goedert. Is that what you're saying? Again, that's wishful thinking and fan talk. Stowers is not a better ball player than Dallas Goedert. He's not a better ball player. Goddard's a really good player, guys. And to sit there and take his job, it would be incredibly ignorant to think that you're just going to walk in and take a 5+ year veteran's gig because they drafted a guy who can't block. It's going to take time for these guys to get their game up to the speed level of the NFL. Okay? Okay, so if Stowers is going to be in the slot, you're giving the job to you're giving the job to the number 1 pick without him earning it. Let's see how that plays out. Stowers been on a shit school against Tufts College. I give him credit. Hey, dude, Vanderbilt's not a shitty program any longer. That's not a shitty program. They beat Alabama now. The nil that they have pumped into that football program, that's not your old school Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt is not shitty. Okay? Vandy's not a shitty school. Look at the last couple of years at Vanderbilt, what they've had with Diego Pavia being the quarterback, and take a look at the facilities that they've added. Vanderbilt, 2 years ago, was knocking on the door at making the college football playoff. So when you sit there and say that, hey, Vanderbilt's a shitty program. Yeah, shitty program 20 years ago, 7 years ago, yes. But to sit there and say that Vanderbilt now is a shitty program, that's not the truth. Okay? It's just not the truth. All right, guys. Appreciate you coming aboard. Please do me a favor. Hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. As I said, hey, you are 89 days to the start of training camp. And you got a lot of news going on. And believe it or not, still the Eagles are on the front page of the sports pages in Philadelphia, Flyers and Sixers. I love everybody jumping on Joel Embiid's small bandwagon. The guy sucks. He throws up 31 and all of a sudden everyone's like, hey, an apology. And you're like, for what? The guy's been as inconsistent as Hurts is throwing the football. And you want me to sit there and go, well, hey, you see Embiid show up? It's about time he hasn't showed up in 7 months. Guy's always hurt, and he's fat. Dude, you imagine that? You're in your prime of your college, NFL, NBA, or whatever career, and you're fat. Make that make sense. Birds show just because you're drafted won't mean they play. That's right. That's right. You're on hey, listen. Hey, David, if all of those players were drafted by the Jets, all those guys are playing. When you're on a good football team, you don't play right away. You don't play right away because you're not beating those guys out. They're good football players. I mean, just because you drafted a guy to the Philadelphia Eagles, that means he plays over who? Stowers ain't playing over Goddard. And the only reason Lemon would play is because if AJ's here, he'd be in the 3-hole. That guy's not beating out anyone else. And who else is beating someone out? Nobody in that rookie class is beating anyone out. The real move is the Jonathan Grenard move. That's the move. And what you've done is you've drafted for the future. This 2026 Eagle draft was for the future. For the future. That's what it's for, okay? Hit the like button. Appreciate you very much. Thank you again. We're going to get into the topics here. By the way, Battle Royale will be with us. That will be at 4:30 with Mark Holmes and with Philly 500. Also, Big Z will be with us at 3:30. Okay. So what do you think are the remaining holes on the team for the Eagles? What would be the remaining holes? Okay. Guys are going in a good place. Here's the remaining holes that I see on the team. Eagles' remaining holes on the team right now are safety, interior of the offensive line still, and also depth in the defensive tackle position. Those are still areas where you need production. Hey, by the way, I want to make a point on who you drafted. Just because you drafted bodies didn't mean you drafted talent. Just because you have people on the depth chart, that doesn't mean they're good. Sauer's a break dancer, and break dancers get broke. Yeah, well, listen, there's a place for a guy like that in a spread offense. You don't have a spread offense. So the one thing that I come away with folks and what they've been saying about the Eagle draft, just because at the end of the day you drafted guys and you addressed it in the draft, my position still is safety, interior O-line, and interior defensive line in depth. Depth and depth in the offensive line. Hey, Sills, what about the Miami kid and the Georgia kid? Great. Last year, you had zero impact by any player you drafted in the offensive line. And they were pretty much in the same area where you drafted. Okay, so we have to wait and see if these guys, any of them, step up and step in and can make an impact on the team. The hate is real. Give him a chance. I am giving him a chance. I'm not sure what you're listening to, guy. I just got through saying for you to feel better about yourself that on April 29th, I don't know what you have. Give him a chance. That means you want to give people the benefit of the doubt. I don't give anybody the benefit of the doubt. To assume something is trouble. Hope is not a strategy. Sills, the Grenard move also helps the depth with Nolan. That's right. Nolan, I believe, is not going to be a starter as well. But I do believe that he could be somebody that could be a situational pass rusher for you and come in and be impactful. That's all it is, Jimbo. It's not being negative in any way towards these young kids. It's let's see it. Hey, step in like Q and Cooper. That was incredible what those guys did. Do you give Reuben Bain the benefit of the doubt? Fuck no. Absolutely not. I don't give Fernando Mendoza the benefit. Dude, this is a different world. College ball and NFL football have nothing to do with one another. Zero. These are grown-ass men. College versus the NFL, it's like the moon and the sun. I mean, it has zero impact. You have to go out and prove every single day that you belong. Listen, I think the potential's there. I think he has a shot. It looks like the potential. I question him in pass coverage. That was one of the issues that he had when he was at Missouri, was pass coverage. And their linebackers the last couple of years have struggled when it comes to covering tight ends and backs out of the backfield. I think he's a downhill guy, 260 pounds, I think he looks pretty good, but at the end of the day, I want to see how they're going to hide him. Okay, how they're going to hide him in pass coverage. Seals Kennard will be a different player outdoors. His game, which relies heavily on quickness and bend to get around tackles, appeared to thrive on the fast and consistent turf on the dome. That's a phenomenal take. That's a phenomenal take. Plays inside. However, Hollywood, got to look at the division he plays in. He does play in Chicago and Green Bay. And he's been a pretty good football player at those places as well. I get it. Detroit, Minnesota are inside, but Chicago and Green Bay are outside. So, and he's been pretty productive against those teams. Look, like I said, he's a good football player, man. He's a proven player. I have no issues with that guy being added to the front seven. I said it the day they acquired him. It made the front seven better. They're a good football team. Okay? I mean, he's a good football player. So it's just a curious question. Which first-round rookie do you think would make the immediate impact? Caleb Downs. He's the most polished kid, and he is the most ready rookie of anybody on defense, in my opinion. I might think that he's the best rookie that was drafted in the first round. Get this. You know what you have on your resume when you're Caleb Downs? You won a scholarship at Alabama and Ohio State, and it was like nothing to the kid. That kid could have went 2 years ago in the first round. That's how good that guy is. Okay? I mean, Downs is a phenomenal prospect. Listen, anytime you talk rookie, potential prospect, you can't say great player. You don't know it yet. Okay? Let's see here. Here's another idiotic comment by a guy who knows shit about football. Arch Manning's like a newborn deer trying to walk across ice. He'll never be league ready. Actually, the opening game against Matt Patricia's defense, remember something. Matt Patricia's defense a year ago produced how many first rounders? 3. Wait, Downs, Reese, Sonny Styles. He had 3 first-round picks a year ago that he developed on his defense. And at the end of the day, Matt Patricia's got 4 Super Bowl rings. And him at the college level, he looks pretty good. He didn't fit in Philly, but he fit in everywhere else defensively. And at the end of the day, also, when you got a high schematic scheme like that, that benefited Arch Manning. Arch Manning right now is the preseason favorite to be the number 1 overall player taken in 2027. He will be the number 1 player taken, and he would have been the number 1 player taken this year if he had come out of college. Indiana beat Ohio State with Downs. He's only one guy in the room. Dude, you don't have anybody in this draft in the room or close to Downs. Stop dismissing a kid's potential. Sonny Styles, man, 120 tackles, 7 sacks, 3 interceptions. Rookie Defensive Player of the Year incoming. Really a great-looking prospect with a lot of potential. I mean, just an absolutely insane potential and upside with the kid. Started his career actually as a safety as well. Seals, believe it or not, Cole Herbert has good middle or field throwing percentage. I see one reason how he drafted him, and to see if he's coachable. Again, a lot of good-looking prospects. We'll see if they even win a job. Sills, is it me or Arch looking pretty good towards the end of the season? He did. Shit show to begin with, but yes, that's what happened. As a matter of fact, Preston, towards the end of the year, He won the SEC Player of the Year twice, or SEC Player of the Week twice, Arch. Ended up beating A&M as well at the end of the season and really did pick it up. By the way, here's Arch Manning's so-called shitty numbers, according to M. Reyes, against SEC competition and against football teams that, quite frankly, I thought Texas had a really good schedule a year ago. Plus, he's got the bullseye. So let's see Arch Manning's 2026. Got some pretty good talent. So he threw for 3,100 yards, 26 touchdowns, 7 picks. And I believe he rushed for 700 yards, if I'm not mistaken, in the Southeastern Conference. Let's see here. Yep. And I think that percentage has to get up. Ran the ball for 400 yards and 10 touchdowns. So he had 36 touchdowns in the SEC last year. I do want to see that 61% come up. That's got to get up higher. Chills, why can't you tell your audience that Howie's done with Hurts? It is so obvious that the 7-year window is over. Howie and Lurie got their ROI on the $250 million return on investment quarterback. I try to be a realist. Great show. Thank you, my friend. End of the day here, once again, I mean, make no mistake about it. Here, show you something else here, too. Let's see here. So let's see here. Yes. I do believe that this season's going to tell us a lot. How come you count Manning rushing yards? Because he's in college. Quite frankly, nobody counts guys rushing yards in the pros to win football games. I mean, you're paid on throwing the football as a quarterback. Just like everyone says, in the NFL, when you're paying for a quarterback, you're not paying for your quarterback. It's why you got running backs in the NFL. It's a different thing. Josh Allen ran the ball less last year. Why? Because they had Cook. So you're comparing Arch Manning and Jalen Hurts now. Okay, Hollywood, you're a grown-ass man trolling every day. You're the last person who should be telling people what to do. Sounds like a good reason for Hurts in the NFL, Manning in the SEC. How come the commentators keep telling people Patrick Mahomes led the team in rushing last year? And that's probably why the Kansas City Chiefs had an under 500 record. Did you ever think of that? If Patrick Mahomes has to be the leading rusher, okay? And he has to be the leading rusher on your Kansas City team, you automatically know that Kansas City didn't have a good season last year. Caleb Downs, Kobe Durant, Jalen Thompson, Deron Bland, Demarion Overshawn, D. Winters, Rashawn Gary, Kenny Clark, Quinnen Williams. I like the defense over the other teams in the NFC East. Quinnen Williams is a better ball player than Jalen Carter today. Kenny Clark is a more versatile player than Jordan Davis, but I would like Jordan Davis's body and presence in the middle of my defense more than Kenny's. So I would take probably the problem, though, is that Kenny can play 3 downs. But I would rather have the big body of Jordan Davis in there than Kenny. Jordan is just a bigger dude. Overshawn is nowhere near the talent that Zach Bond is. Okay? Caleb Downs, you're hoping that Caleb Downs is going to be in the conversation, and you're praying that he turns out to be somebody like a Kyle Hamilton. I think he can be a player like that. Okay? I don't think I'm not ripping your defense here. And also this too, at the end of the day, the Eagle defense has shown it. And they've put it on paper and they've put it on the field. You put it in a blog. So with 89 days until training camp, this looks pretty good. Okay? I'm not saying it doesn't. But you've got to go out and execute it now. You've got to go out and execute it. So I think I think that's better talent. Here, in Texas, boy, I will go here too. If you go back to where you were April 29th with Micah Parsons and with this group, you're 10 times better. You're 10 times better than where you were a year ago. Yeah, Deron Bland, I mean, I think he's a little overrated, my friend. He's a little overrated. Seals Allen had 579 yards on the ground and 112 carries. Hurts had 421 and 105. Did you say Allen didn't run more than Hurts? No. I said last year he didn't run as much as he did before in the past, is what I said. That's what I said. That's exactly what I said. BG says now that Jordan lost the weight, both his endurance and speed have improved, and TGA Eagles believe he can now play 3 downs. Well, they absolutely believe he can play 3 downs. You wouldn't give a guy $26 million to be a part-time player. When the majority of your defenses are in 3rd down, 68% of the time you're a nickel. I mean, he played 87 snaps last year when he was in he played 87 snaps on 3rd down. Why would you ask that, Sills? Why would you ask that? Sills has Dallas stuck so far up his rear, his breath smells like Jerry Jones's dentures. That's because you can't take fucking truth, bro. If Jordan Davis is ready for 3 downs, why did he only play 3 down? Why did he only play 3 downs when it was 3rd and less than 3? Completely true. He did not prove a year ago that he's a 3-down guy. There was no way last year he proved he was a 3-down guy. There's just no sample size of that. And the rush defense a year ago was 16th. It wasn't like they were world beaters. You double check that on what they were a year ago, rushing, on what they were on defense. What were the Eagles on defense? By the way, they finished up 13th in total D. I thought they started out 25th, so that's a hell of a climb. They did such a great job in their pass defense. Yeah, rushing defense, I was wrong. The rushing defense was 22nd in the NFL. You're bottom 10. And you're trying to fucking tell me you're a run-stopping team? Based on what? Your run defense was 22nd. And you gave a 1st and 2nd down guy $26 million? What were you seeing? Kind of wild. Think about it. You were bottom 10 in rush defense. Now, with the addition of Grenard, does that help? Yes. Okay. We have multiple DTs. Why would you want Davis in passing situations anyway? Well, when you're paying somebody $26 million, you're paying a guy part-time, elite defensive tackle money? With that fifth-year option, do you know that Jalen Carter's making only $1.5 million more than what Jordan Davis will make? And Jalen Carter's a 3-down guy. Kind of wild. Think about it. And like I said, you weren't that great against the run. And I hear people say this. Well, Vic doesn't really give a shit about run defense. Really? Well, that's why your football team got run over in the playoffs by a less than mediocre roster. You can't stop the run. You can't win ball games. I don't give a shit who you are. Run the ball, stop the run. Since 1920, that's been the key. That's been the key for every team that's ever won any kind of multiple Super Bowls. Okay? How he still hasn't addressed that $350 million void year bills have been racked up. Why that one dude jumped ship for the Falcons. Vic obviously cares about run defense. Correct. That's why David, that's why some of the holes that we're talking about here, I do agree with you guys, safety. But, dude, you need more depth in your defensive tackle position. Davis or Carter gets hurt, you have nobody in there, and you weren't exceptional a year ago in run defense. Rookies are tough to evaluate with your acumen, which I respect. Does Lemon have the traits? Yes. No. He's not JSN. JSN moves all over the field, and I think JSN's a better athlete. However, Lemon kind of looks a little more like Puka Nacua. He kind of looks like that to me. When you put his game tape on, it kind of looks like Puka Nacua. He looks good in route running. 4-5, that's good enough. So it to me, he looks kind of more like Puka, not JSN. JSN is a great athlete. Okay? I mean, it's more like Puka. If I had to make I watched the Iowa tape and Mayock screamed out, Iowa game isn't the NFL. I like the kid's mojo. Yeah, no, listen, I think he's more like Puka Nacua as a skill set. Jimbo is obsessed with strange buddy talking about void years. Well, that's one of the reasons why you haven't spent a shitload of money. You haven't spent any money whatsoever outside the building except for Grenard. And that was a good move. You did end up getting the guy cheaper. We have Ajomo, Davis, and if needed be, Graham. Again, Mario Ajomo's not a backup. Davis and Carter are not. I said depth, Chris. And you're saying that a 38-year-old Brandon Graham is depth? You don't have depth. Sills, were football players pre-merger cut from a different cloth? They were tougher back then. No. Favorite players, Bed and Eric. David, they practiced more. They had more practice time to develop their skills. These kids today and the guys today don't have the same practice time. Like you don't have 3-a-days, 2-a-days. Back in the day, you went to 2-a-days for 2.5 months. I mean, 2-a-days for 2.5 months. Here, let me put this in here. I'll show you how many 2-a-days, how many years I went through 2-a-days. Bucks twice. Cowboys twice. And the Lions. That's just in the NFL. Canadian League, I went through 2-a-days. The other leagues I went through. So I got 5 2-a-day years. And I'll promise you, man, the kids today don't practice like that. They just don't. If he turns into that kind of receiver, that's a win. Yes. But he's got Matthew Stafford. You've got Jalen Hurts. Maybe the kids now are more talented and smarter than need two-a-days. No. Well, here, Original, they're better athletes today, for sure. So what Original just said this. So if I show up and I practice a certain pass rush 2 times versus 10 times, he thinks you're good enough, and that's good enough. Is that what you're saying, Original? Is that what you're saying? That if I practice 2 times versus 10 times for one play, you think the guy that's practicing only 2 reps versus 10 reps, he's going to get more skill and he's a better player? How do you think that? NFL is ran by kitty cats nowadays. Well, I don't think you needed to have the over practicing all those 3-a-days. I don't think you needed 3.5 months or 2.5 months of 3-a-days. It was overborn. Well, you're hoping he's not Golden Tate. I think Golden Tate was an okay player. But if you think this Mekhi Lemon is Golden Tate, that's not a win at number 20. If he turns out being Golden Tate. And Tate's an okay player. Not horrible, not great. He's solid. He's a solid dude. I think the Eagles are looking for more than solid. Different game now, Sills. We're not running. Hold on here. Different game? You need to be a better athlete today. That's why the athletes today are better. That doesn't mean they're more skilled. How about this? Fly. You're damn right. The quarterbacks are less skilled today when it comes to understanding their position. They may be more physically skilled, but they are less when it comes to how to read a defense. There's very few quarterbacks in the NFL today that know where to throw the ball. So you're right. It is a different game. Quarterbacks are less intelligent on reading defenses and rely more on their skill set. And that's why you have quarterbacks having problems in the postseason. It's because they don't know where they're going. Here, so let me show you this here. Here, okay. Here. So here, let me go double check this. I like checking this to be good. Sills, it's wild reading stories about Bednarik playing on both sides of the ball. He was a tremendous football player and one of the faces of the National Football League and one of your greatest players. Sills, older generation, we were always outside, always moving. Now kids playing PS5. I get it. Listen, I think the athletes are 10 times better than anything we've seen before. Sills, you're right. Kids today have sports performance facilities. They have no idea what 2-a-days are with a garden hose. Hey, getting the garden hose, drinking out of the water there, and that's where you got it. And they got all the great performance facilities. Good for them, though, dude. I think it's great. Anytime that you can help an athlete get better and sports medicine, helping the players, I'm all over it, man. I'm happy for the guys. If the Steelers were going to take him, you know he's going to be good. Steelers historically have immaculate taste in receivers. And by the way, in the past, later rounds too, believe it or not. I'm excited about our offense and our young guys coming in. I hope Lemon and Stowers prove to be gamers. I like that word, hope. Chris, that's not a bad take for a fan. Sills, 2-a-days, we're used to get players into game shape. That's right. When you hit game 1, you were in shape. Today, it's game 4 of the regular season. Players today have more free time and are expected to show up. And plus, they break camp, Bob. Steelers do draft well at wide receiver for some reason. They don't take them high a lot. I can't remember the last time that the Steelers drafted a wide receiver in the first round. What was that guy's name? Mike Williams? Back in the day, there was a dude they drafted. He turned out not to be very good. Then they sent him to the Dolphins. I forget who that guy was. Oh, Santana Holmes was taken in the first round? 06. It's 20 years ago. Santonio Holmes? I mean, dude, that's 20 years ago. Steelers don't draft. And they've had exceptional wide receivers. I mean, even John Stallworth was taken in latter rounds. I believe Swan was a first rounder, but yeah, well, I've always thought that the Eagles, Mike Wallace, that's it. Dion, I thought maybe Mike Wallace was a first rounder as well. Like I thought, I thought maybe he was a first rounder. He stunk. They have drafted well in the past, not recently. Last few drafts, absolutely. I don't think Hines Ward was a first rounder. I think he was a later rounder. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Hines Ward was a quarterback when he initially went to Syracuse. None of us know what these players are going to do. Correct. It's always hope. College is different than the NFL, Sills. You know that firsthand. Absolutely. Sills, we are from the same generation. I always wanted to ask you, do you know Marcus Dupree? Exceptionally. We are very good friends. And I'll tell you this, Mr. Hill. If Marcus Dupree was on those Oklahoma teams that we beat 3 years in a row, that may have been a different outcome. He's by far the greatest high school running back, athlete, player in the last 65 years. That includes Bo. That includes Eric Dickerson. That includes Herschel Walker. Nobody had the talent of Marcus Dupree. We are very good friends. By the way, you know who he was great friends with? He's from Philadelphia, Mississippi. A guy who used to come to all of his games was the guy by the name of Bull Connor, who was that racist sheriff back in the day in Mississippi. And he loved Marcus Dupree. Changed his entire opinion of black athletes in Mississippi. I mean, Marcus Dupree is one of the greatest high school athletes. And when he got to OU, he ran people over. He went to the USFL. He got hurt. He was out of ball for like 3 or 4 years, and he ended up making the Rams. He was just some ball player, man. Greatest high school football player, one of the greatest high school football players I've ever seen. Could be the greatest high school football player of all time is Marcus Dupree. I mean, Fred Akers and Barry Switzer, everyone. You're like, you didn't see anything like it. Earl Campbell even said, Jesus criminy. It's just totally one of the greatest. I mean, gifted athlete, 6'3", 235 pounds, ran 4 3s, 4 4s in high school. It's like little kids playing against him. He's such a freak, man. Oh, what a great football player. A.J. Brown, overrated. Lemon, best wide receiver in the NFC East. That's a nice fan's thought. All of a sudden, A.J.'s overrated, right? He's the greatest receiver in the history of the Philadelphia Eagles. And today, he's overrated. Typical asshole Eagle fan. So Markel Bell is still a mystery to me. I can't remember a tackle of that size and frame transitioning well in the league. Can you fix the bend? Well, Bryant McKinney was that same size. Okay? Seals, would you bring in Tomlin if Vrabel becomes Too much of a distraction. Mike Vrabel's not going anywhere unless he decides to resign. I'm firing that guy. Derrick Henry is the best. He's the player. Derrick Henry is the best player. Is the best comp player to him. I think Marcus Dupree was a more fluid runner. Jonathan Ogden, when he came out of UCLA, Jonathan Ogden, though, was a really great athlete for a guy 6'8", 6'9". So was Bryant McKinney. He was also that guy. Came out of Miami, 6'8", 6'9". Folks, these guys are enormous human beings. I mean, they're enormous. And even if they get in the way, yeah. Yes. He was like Bo Jackson. Yes. Okay. Sills, that's why I love the show. I'm just a football fan in the first state, and your platform gives me a small voice. Thank you. Dupree was a beast. Of course, man. Absolutely, my friend. Yeah, you're not going to turn on any show where people interact with people that are good, bad, indifferent. We don't do that. As you can tell, we don't block anybody. No, we don't go to anybody. There's certain people that have to pay for my attention. 99.9% of you don't. Jalen Hurts' first year as a starter went to the playoffs without Saquon and AJ. Eagles win 7 games based off of what? All your turnover. And your shitty offense of a year ago. Bill has to lose weight and learn how to coordinate his feet and upper body. Well, here, Rasputin. Let me ask you something. If you play offensive guard versus right tackle, what do you think is the biggest skill set you have to play tackle versus guard? Let's ask. What do you think that Bell will have to be his? What will be the biggest challenge for him? Now, where do you want to play him first? Okay. These are all good takes. There you go. I like this one. Okay. Where do you want to play him first? You want to play him tackle? Let's play him at tackle. Here's the thing that makes Lane. Okay, let's do this. Let's ask you guys some of the assets of Lane Johnson. You think Lane Johnson's patient? You think he's a patient tackle? Boy, I do. That's confidence. Patience with an O-lineman is confidence. You would agree he's patient, right? He's got great arm length. Okay? He's got great fundamental technique. He slides his feet well, right and left. Get off as an offensive lineman is not that important as being patient. Sometimes you let the guy come to you and you smother him like a Bane. If he's got short arms, I could just lay on him. I win that battle. Remember, a stalemate for an offensive lineman is a win. If he stalemates you, and even though you get a push, but he's not in the quarterback's vision, that's a win for the old lineman. He just got to stalemate you. The defensive guy's got to be on a perimeter. 3 technique, he's got to be on a shade. He's got to create that guy moving his feet. My question would be with Bell is, if you play him inside, do you guys agree? You need to have better feet inside. Why? If you're going to play inside, why would you have to have better feet? Anybody? If you're an offensive guard, why would you have to have better feet than, say, a right tackle or a left tackle even? Why would you have to have better feet? It's not a bad take. That's not a bad take. I think you're getting there. Blitz pickup. Okay. There you go. Guys, when you're inside, there's more traffic. There's more bodies on the ground. You got to pick your feet up. Step over these guys. When you're inside, right? You got a defensive end. You've got a nose tackle. I got two guys on my perimeter on each side of me. And I got a linebacker probably that's in front of me here. When I'm moving there and I'm trying to get a pull and a scoop, and I got to go out there to get an outside shoulder, there's guys all over the ground there. You got to pick your feet up. So you got to have better feet in there to be able to step over the traffic that's inside. There's more of a congestion inside. Those guys have to have really good feet inside. So I don't know if Bell's got that kind of feet to be inside. I think he's more going to be apt to be outside because why? Because of his arm length and because of his size. I think his biggest problem is going to be inside moves. Like a guy like Hutchinson or a guy like TJ Watt could give him problems. I think coming back inside, get his feet moved up the field. I think he's got the best teacher on the planet that's still in the building in Lane Johnson. Stoutland's not there, but let me tell you, having Lane there and watching Lane do it, as great as Francis was at UM last year, this is going to be a great learning curve. He's going to learn more in one training camp or in one mini camp or in one film session. Let me tell you where you learn a lot when you're a defensive player and you're an offensive player, okay? You're watching it on film and you're sitting next to Lane Johnson here. You know what you get to do? Lane, when you slide your feet, what are you trying to punch? Are you trying to punch inside shoulder, outside shoulder to to stop the bull rush? And Lane will probably tell you, I give him a double push. Boom. And he goes, because if I give him two like this, you turn a shoulder. Once you turn a shoulder, you got him. Anytime a defensive lineman or offensive lineman turn their shoulder, you got him, man. You cut the guy in half. So you get to talk to the guy and go like this. So you give a double punch. Sometimes I won't. Sometimes I'll leave my hands down. But see, you got to be a great athlete to do that. But you get to talk to Lane sitting in the booth right there, and you're looking at game film together, and you're looking at practice film. And then what you do is you go out on the field, and Lane's going to sit there talking to the kid going, got to slide it more, man. Get depth. Don't get width. Get depth. A guy like this, a guy like Myles Garrett, you want to get depth on him. You can't punch him at the line of scrimmage. I thought the one thing that Lane did really well against Michael Parsons is that he stoned him at the line of scrimmage. He knew he was more physically imposing than Micah. But if he let Micah get a rush on him, and Micah started figuring it out by getting wider on him. And I tell you this, I thought Aiden Hutchinson a year ago, I thought he tortured Jordan Mailata. He was all over Mailata. Mailata didn't have a game against him. Mailata, I thought, got beat up in that game. But you get a chance to sit there and you get a chance to watch and you get a chance to talk to the guy. I told you, I'm in a room with Ed Jones and Randy White. And I got Randy White here and Ed Jones, and I'm sitting there and I'm asking these guys, so Randy, why are you lining up so wide in that 3? It's almost like 5. He goes, because this guy can't move his feet. I'm going to make him move his feet just by alignment alone. You understand? You can make a guy move his feet just by alignment alone. He's got to get out there. Bang, back inside. Some of these guys, you could put a blindfold on. Okay? You could put a blindfold on these guys, and they know where to go. Like here, guy hits my outside shoulder. What's the first thing I'm thinking? Back inside. Okay? Wide splits. What are they trying to do? When you get wide splits, what are you trying to do when you get wide splits versus tight splits? They're tip-offs on where they're going to run the ball. You know, backside could be tight splits, front side could be wide splits. Trying to run a stretch play on you. You could sit there and dissect where a play is going by the hash mark, by the splits of the offensive line, and by the backfield set, and by their tendencies, which you guys call stats, on what they do. They run a brown set on the hash, tight splits on the right, wide splits on the left. You already have an advantage on thinking where the tendencies in your playbook are on what they want to run with that stretch play to the wide side. Very rarely do the Eagles run to the tight side. Have you noticed that? Eagles don't run a tight side run. They run wide side run. Seals, would you say that playing O-line is like playing corner against wide receivers? Playing the offensive line is a lot more difficult than playing defensive line. There's more technique involved. And there's more continuity involved. 3 dudes on the D-line could get blocked. One guy could break through the line of scrimmage, and that guy could screw the entire play up. One guy in the offensive line gets beat, the entire play's dead. And by the way, Bell drops his head a little bit. I kept telling him that all the last 2 years. I said the difference between you and Francis is you don't have quite the feet he has, and the most important thing you do, you drop your head. Bang. You got to get that head up. Mario, I mean, look, if Miami couldn't fix that, I think that could be a problem still. Mario, how many big-time offensive linemen did Mario put from Alabama into the pros and also at Oregon and now at Miami? If you couldn't fix it in Miami, what makes you think you're going to fix it in Philly without Stoutland in the building? That's a putt, dude. If Bell starts, could you see how he's trading AJ and Steve? No. No, you're asking a lot from a 5th-round draft choice. I mean, you're asking a lot. 5th-round guy is going to start where? Dude, Bell's not a better player than Steen. I mean, he's not a better player than him. He's going to sit on the bench. The guy he's going to be fighting a job with is Fred Johnson. He's not a starter. Let's see here. Bell's biggest problem is going to be going against speed rushers. Yes. And speed rushers and guys who got a great bend. Georgia kid can't start at guard. I actually like that Georgia kid. He's got a lot of intangibles that I dig on that guy. I just don't think any of those guys are going to have Seals. If Lane could teach Bell his drop step, Bell could be a problem. Yes. Dude, you got the greatest teacher in the building. You know, because not only is Lane Johnson a better offensive line guy than Jeff Stoutland, here's the difference. He knows the technique. He's been taught the technique, and he's applied the technique. Look at this guy. This guy doesn't even know what I'm talking about. Now, Sills, okay, my bad. I'm sorry, Martin. Now, Sills, what's a better position to learn of, rip tackle or guard? I think right guard especially, is easier. But because of these complex offensive lines, Martin, and these complex offenses today, it's a little different than it was back in the day. It's really a good question. Your higher paid guys are at the tackle position. That tells you, remember, always follow the money. Follow the money. Tackles are paid more than guards. So I'm going to say tackle, but it's a great question. Dan Sileo, my brother, went to college with Markel Bell. He's a giant of a man. Yeah, he went to my school. I know. Why not keep Steen around a team in the event Landon doesn't stick around? Or you think getting younger and cheaper would be the move there? I don't know why you guys are looking at moving off of Tyler Steen. Tyler Steen played 1,100 snaps last year for you. Graded out pretty decently. I mean, actually, you're going to sleep on him, and you guys are falling in love with the recent. These guys you drafted aren't better than him. They're not better than him. Sills, what causes the drop of the head on Bell? Is it technique? Great question. Bad habits or trying to compensate for his? Well, here, easy. When you're rushing me, what are you trying to do? You're trying to grab him and smother him. Boom. You're trying to use your head to stop his feet. It's a trick old linemen do. Boom. Jackie Slater did it. But Jackie had great feet, great hands, great width. I played against Jackie Slater. Phenomenal player. Phenomenal. But he would drop that head on you, man. It just stun you, and it would stop you in your tracks. I think it's a lazy technique. Dropping your head in anything in sports. It's how Iverson goes around you. Okay? Dropping your head, stopping your feet. Two things you do. Guess what? If you're doing those two things, okay, you're doing those two things, you're dropping your head, okay, and you're stopping your feet, you're in trouble. They need to work on more lateral movement in this scheme. Yeah, they have to get out because they're going to try to run a stretch plays. And get this. Here, let's do this here. Now that you're saying that, Kim, you think one of the changes this year in the passing offense this year is going to be having Hurts throw on the run more? I thought about something last night. If Jalen Hurts, his skill set is running, wouldn't it make sense to have more rollouts? Don't you think he likes to roll right? Montana rolled right. But Montana threw right. Early in Montana's career, Montana rolled right all the time. But the difference is that he was constantly looking downfield to make plays. And think about something else here. I started thinking, how are they going to move and maneuver Jalen Hurts a little more? Okay. Here. I'll give you a for instance here. Okay. So here are the hash marks. See the hash marks? The circle's where the quarterback's going to be in the huddle. What's the advantage of having Jalen Hurts roll right and throw right? What's the advantage? Because this is some West Coast here. I think they're going to move him around more. Not the receivers. Hurts. Okay? So, this may benefit him. What does rolling him right and having him throw on the run do? What does that do for him? Not so much. Think about it. You're in the middle of the field here, right? Well, if I'm rolling right, hash to sideline, instead of having Jalen sit in the pocket, hash to sideline, Hurts is there with a better, clearer view of hash to sideline. You're managing half the field instead of all the field. Even the defenses are not going to have difficult coverages if you move the quarterback around. If you move the quarterback around and you roll him right, hash to sideline, you have less personnel in there, which means less crowded lanes. However, tighter windows. If you cut the field in half and you have Hurts only having to manage half the field, I think Jalen Hurts is going to move around more. I don't think he's going to run more. I think he's going to move around more. The more you move the quarterback around, I kept thinking, why would you move the wide receivers around? He already struggles with that. Move the fucking quarterback around. And if you move the quarterback around, that makes more sense. Managing half the field. They did that with Montana. I asked Bill Walsh early in Montana's career, when Joe threw the pass to the back of the end zone to Dwight Clark to put him in the Super Bowl over Everson Walls, the catch, that's exactly what Bill Walsh told me. We had Montana roll right, roll right, roll right. And I'm going, why are you doing that? Was that a preference? He goes, no. Well, it was for Joe. The preference was moving right. However, as Joe became better at reading defenses, that's when we started doing more drop back. And when you become better at drop back, then you sit them back and drop back, and you're able to scan the field. It basically taught Montana how to read defenses, half the field to the full field. Took him about 4 years. And that's how but Montana earlier in his career moved around more. And when Joe started getting banged up, Leonard Marshall hit him, Jim Burt hit him. That's when he had to adapt his game to being more of a drop back guy. Now, you get hit more when you're moving like that. Yeah, see, I think it's less motion when you move the quarterback. I think it's less motion. Okay? Jalen's 2025 year would have been the second best of Montana's entire career. That's why I don't go to that guy. He's just an idiot, man. Joe Montana. Okay. Folks, Montana had a 135 quarterback rating in 4 Super Bowls. He never threw a pick. He had 14 touchdowns and no picks in Super Bowl play. And he beat Elway and Marino in these games. Are you fucking nuts? Stop comparing somebody that's not in the same conversation with Joe Montana. What an imbecile. Sills, could this potential make him a threat in the run game? Yes. Hey, moving him around like that? Yes. I would take Montana over Brady. I would take Montana over Brady, dude. And plus, get this. He played against that 85 Bears team. Gang Green. Lawrence Taylor. Who the fuck are you playing against, Jalen? You're playing against those legendary defensive football teams that were some of the greatest of all time. And he was shredding them. Like, what defense? That 49er defense that you played in the opening round of the playoffs? Like, are you crazy? The rollout game is what, that to me, Jay, is how they're getting they're coaching Bo Nix so good. They're coaching him so good in Denver. I'd go Brady, but I have no problem with someone picking Joe. Hey, how about this? You could have the first pick, and I'll take whoever you don't want. Does that make sense, Curtis? it's one of the two guys. You know what I'm saying? If you want Joe, I'll take Brady. If you want Brady, I'll take Joe. I don't really think there's much difference. Dude, like Montana was electric. I played against him. So guess who showed us that Jalen can't throw on the run? Dougie. I think I don't know about that. I want to see it. We literally had Doug who wanted to coach Jalen, and we got rid of him. Yeah, they do a great job with moving Knicks on the run. They really do. They really do a great job. Most of the people that would make them comments about Montana never saw him play. I've never seen anything like it. You had to be on the field to see it. The guy was never off. I won Super Bowls with nobodies and then helped Rice become the great player he was. Montana played with no Hall of Fame O-lineman ever. They just put his back in the Hall of Fame after 30 years. I mean, Joe was just special, man. Okay? Different era, dude. Montana had 3,900 yards throwing to mediocre wide receivers like Dwight Clark, Freddie Solomon. His second best year, Hurts' best year, he didn't break 3,900 yards with Smitty and AJ and Johnny. You're a goober. He is. Get this. Montana had Dwight Clark, Freddie Solomon, and a guy named Burt Cooper when he won his first Super Bowl. Great pull by you. Montana had nobody. I mean, nobody. Those were good football players. Yes, Montana was the West Coast. But my point is that they first skilled him by learning how to teach him how to read defenses. Dude, Montana was just like a special breed apart. And there's no coincidence that Tom Brady's favorite football player of all time is Joe Montana. I think Manny called up Doug Peterson, asked him about Jalen and how he was going to utilize him. I think we got to get Doug back on again. I'm not anywhere close to Jalen Hurts fan, but I believe that he would have been developed better under Doug Peterson coaching staff. I think they would have fought, really butted heads. And I think it's a great conversation. Hey, Greg, do you think Doug Peterson would have won more with Jalen Hurts than what Nick Sirianni has? I don't know about that. Because I think Doug Peterson would have tried to do the best he could for Jalen and not the offense. Nick Sirianni doesn't do what's best for Jalen Hurts. He does what's best for the offense. You feel me? All of Nick's hires and all of the people that they've brought in, it's all for his offense. It's not for Hurts. All the coaches they've hired, all the missteps and successes. Get this, the most successful guys that they've had in the building were when they ran the ball. 22 when they ran it and 24 when they ran it. Isn't that the common denominator? The quarterback ran in 22 and the running back ran in 24. Anytime it's been passing, they've not won or gone anywhere near Super Bowls. Now they want to throw the ball more, it seems, than run the ball. Okay, well, make that make sense. They've never had a successful football team when they just relied on the running or the passing game being the predominant part. They've never been successful as a unit. By the way, you could see all their individual numbers, but as a unit, they were not very good. I mean, they just weren't. 3 GOATs for 3 different eras. Unitas, excuse me, Unitas, Montana, Brady. Nobody could read the field like Joe. No, Brady's close. Brady's close. But Joe was a natural. Brady wasn't. That's the difference between Montana and Brady. Brady worked so hard to be that guy. Montana, it just came to him natural. From the time he was in college with Dan Devine at Notre Dame to the time he got to the NFL, he was just a natural. Mahomes is a natural. Some guys are just naturals at it, man. Some guys got to work their asses off. I think Brady had to work his ass off. Doug is a hell of a coach. Jalen wants a coach to butt heads with. That's him. And that's how greatness is made. I agree. Chills, I don't think the scheme change means that we aren't going to be a run-first team. I just think they know the passing game has been completely broken. Completely broken. The passing game has been terrible for 5 years, except all but one of the 5 years he started has been terrible. As a unit, you can't get around it. Hearing you say everything Nick does is the best for the offense, when we're constantly ranked at the bottom of the league, makes me believe Doug Peterson would have had just as much success. Hey, Greg. So you're 50-18 in 4 years. You got 2 Super Bowl appearances, 2 NFC titles, and a Super Bowl. You've won the NFC East twice in a row. How much more success do you think Doug would have had? You think he would have won both those Super Bowls? Maybe. I think he would have had a lot of bitching going on between the front office and the head coaching staff, because Doug controls his coaching staff. Nick doesn't. And I do believe that that's where you would have that's where you would have the pushback. And I think that would cause like a lot of problems in the success of the team on the field. So here, let's go here with this. On a scale of 1 to 10, okay, wait. So let me set this up better. Does everybody in here believe that there is a schematic change coming in 2026? Yes or no? That there's a schematic change in the offense coming. How many people believe that? So let me start here first. Does everybody in here believe that a schematic change is coming? Pianist, 100%. Yes, okay. Do you think what they've done personnel-wise, drafting and signing guys and trading for guys, that also leads to a schematic change? Do you believe that as well? So right now, you believe that a change is coming in the passing game. Okay? The personnel that they've drafted and the personnel that they've traded for is they want, and they're addressing the passing game, correct? Okay. So personnel-wise and play calling wise, they're changing. Do we all agree on that? Do we all agree? Okay, all right. New playbook plus the new Sean McVay / playbook we're going to see. To some variation. I'm not saying Matthew Stafford's playbook, but it's a Sean McVay style of playbook. So we've got Sean McVay style of playbook. We've changed the personnel or added to the personnel and we're going to have different play calls. That leads me to this question here. On a scale of 1 to 10, is Howie making contingency plans for the quarterback position? Let me read it again. On a scale of 1 to 10, is Howie Roseman making contingency plans for the quarterback position? Yes or no? And give me a number between 1 and 10. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, is Howie Roseman making contingency plans for the quarterback position? Scale of 1 to 10. Let's see here. 9. 10. 10. 9. 8. So David thinks with all the things they've done, they're not making a contingency plan. 10. 11. Me? On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm going to say 7 also. How about this one? You think they've had this conversation? You think the front office has had this conversation? Every single thing that they have done this offseason has nothing to do with Hurts. Absolutely. Of course. 150%. Yes. Yes. Yep. Hard not to. Mm-hmm. If Hurts' position was secure, he'd have an extension done right now. Of course he would. Of course he would. Drake is 22 and missed by MVP 1 vote. Drake May will have a great year if A.J. Brown goes up there. You know why? Why will A.J. Brown have a great year in New England next year? Anybody? Anybody? Why will A.J. Brown have a great year next year in New England? Anybody? It's so simple. Oh, yeah. Why will he have? Well, here, I'll tell you exactly why. Josh McDaniels or Sean Mannion? Who the fuck would you rather have throwing you and having people design plays for? Sean Mannion or Josh McDaniels? Josh McDaniels was the assistant coach of the year in the NFL last year. And he had nobody at wideout. And that guy still threw for $4,000. I mean, Josh McDaniel getting people open or Sean Mannion? Yeah, guys never called a play versus a guy with 6 rings. Yeah, okay. Sills, I think it all depends where they finish the season. If they had within top 10 in the 27 draft, Hurts is 100% gone. Hey, how about this? Get this too. Sean Mannion's never called a play. versus the guy who called plays for Brady and worked with Brady and got another guy to a Super Bowl. Yeah, okay. Okay. Here. Josh McDaniels is historically a shitty coach. What the fuck are you talking about? You think Josh McDaniels, last year's offensive coach of the year for assistant coaches, is a shitty coach? Once again, folks, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. He won Super Bowls with Brady, and he took another guy to a Super Bowl. How the fuck is that a shitty coach? Bro, you enhance your ignorance. If we win the Super Bowl, Hurts will be extended. If we don't, he plays better. Well, we make it to the NFC Championship. If he gets to the NFC Championship game, he will definitely get a contract extension. Shit, I think if they win a playoff game, there's a shot he may get one. Absolutely. Absolutely, my friend. All right. Man, hey, for a team, I got to tell you, man, one more time. I never thought in a billion years that covering the Eagles would be this much fun. I mean, yeah, there's no getting around it. How much fun this has been. And now there's just content because we got guys going on the field this weekend. Heard the guys making conversation today. By the way, I heard John McMullen say something today, and John's right about something. I'm going to get it with Zander here in a second. Howie Roseman, coming from the analytics department and coming from non-personnel, being a general manager, that trend's never going to break. They're never going to. Hiring analytic guys to be general managers, that's not happening. You know why? Owners are still too afraid of that. Okay? What they'll do is hire capologists. What Howie has done is Howie has done his studying on player development, and he learned so much. Hey, guys, R.C. Slocum, what was that guy's name that was the R.C. Buford, who was the general manager of the San Antonio Spurs? Remember when he got put in a broom closet? And R.C. Buford, the former GM, and him went on this like European vacation thing. And I tell you this, and I promise you this, that what he told him and how he looked at Manu Ginobili or Tony Parker or bringing a guy like Tim Duncan in player development, I think changed Howie Roseman's vision on how he looked at players. And when the Jalen Reagor turned out to be a flop, he realized right then and there, and he became a better guy, man, at picking players. So what you had was a capologist guy becoming a really good. Bruce Allen was never a personnel guy. He could never get that right. Bruce was a great capologist, but Bruce couldn't get personnel right. So I agree. John's like, I would think that, Howie's, yeah, but Zander said it on the show. You know what Zander said? Howie's one of. You don't get analytic nerds. Let's take that guy in the fourth pick of the opening round and sit there and put my little numbers together, my little weirdo numbers and my protractor out. That doesn't happen. Owners don't want to hear a guy talking to me about abacuses. They don't want to hear that shit. They want to know why the guy's going to be a good football player and how he talks with abacuses and calculators and bullshit. But he's figured it out. He's got his own secret sauce. I don't think you're really going to see a lot. There's no trend going to go where, let me put an analytics guy in the room. That still hasn't happened. That's not going to happen. All right. Without further ado, we bring in my friend who's killing it in the morning. Big Z, Zander Krause. He joins us now right here on the program. How you doing, homie?
What's up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
All good, man. So let's start it off here. Look at this, what I got here for Z. Look at this right here, man.
What do you got? That's the question. That's not always a good thing for Eagle fans.
Here we go here, bro. What's the remaining holes on the team in your opinion?
I think they're getting smaller pretty quick. I think safety's obviously a clear one. And then there's just some question marks, like, how good does Jahad Campbell fill in for Nakobe Dean on a full-time basis? I think those are probably the two big spots. I think corner's pretty patched up. Defensive line looks pretty good to me. Wide receiver, I think, is solid. Tight end, I think, is solid. Offensive line, you could maybe argue the depth is maybe a little low there. They're relying on a lot of draft picks and guys who didn't really pan out last year. But outside of that, I think the depth is pretty good.
Based on what in the offensive line is the depth pretty good? Last year, you guys drafted a bunch of guys in the same picks.
Yeah, well,
and,
I just said O-line.
Let me finish. Last year, you guys drafted 4s and 5s. Not one guy had impact. So you're assuming this year these guys that you drafted in the 4th and 5th rounds are going to have more impact?
Well, I mean, that's not to say that one player drafted is the storybook on every player drafted. I mean,
No.
they've had they've had.
Well, they didn't have very much impact a year ago outside of really one guy.
Yeah, so are you going to take that and use that, apply that to every single year because one year it didn't work out? I mean,
okay, well, are you assuming that there's going to be impactful guys on this draft?
No, I'm assuming that the 5 guys that are starters are going to be good.
Okay, so here, do you think any one of the guys that you drafted is going to see significant playing time out of the first guy, out of Lemon, outside of Lemon? You see any of the guys that you drafted will have?
I think Stowers will get
any playing time.
Yeah, I think Stowers will get playing time. I think Bell could be the swing tackle if he develops quickly.
Beats out Fred, right?
Well, maybe. I think both of them. Maybe Fred just becomes the backup right, and maybe Markel becomes the backup left. I don't know. There was some talk about maybe Markel moving inside as a backup. I doubt that. I think Drew Kendall would more fit that role. Yeah, I mean, it's not great, but I don't think it's that bad. Like McMullen said this morning, we're relying on stem cells this year, dude. If those things worked out, we're going to be good. If not, then we might have some trouble.
Just because you have bodies don't mean you have depth. I mean, that's what I take away from things sometimes.
Yeah, but I don't know how do you address that? When you have a roster that includes the most expensive roster, on offense, and you have guys on defense who have played into a big contract coming up, how do you address depth to the level you want?
We'll find out in September.
Well, you got to or you have to go with the approach that you don't want your top guys to be as good as they are.
Well, the years that you've had massive success in 22 and 23, you had limited injuries.
Right, which is partly an organizational philosophy, but it's not all that.
That philosophy is not going to stay intact with older players.
Correct. I agree with that.
Okay, so
are they that old? How old is Landon's like 27? Hey,
I think that's
like 26. You're talking like they're 33.
I'll tell you what, he played like it last year, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He did play like it. There's no doubt about that. But I don't know. I mean, I get where you're coming from, but it's hard for me to, isn't that a secondary concern? I mean, if you put it this way, if you're saying to me your top concern is depth, then I think that's a pretty good top
concern. Did depth win the 2017 Super Bowl for you?
Yeah, and the greatness of Nick Foles and Doug Peterson.
Well, Nick Foles was depth.
Well, he was, but I don't think Nick Sirianni would have won the Super Bowl that year, given the same circumstance.
Oh, okay. I hadn't heard that one before. All right.
Well, do you agree or do you disagree?
I had somebody ask me this question earlier. I think Doug would have won it.
Doug would have won it. Would Nick have won it?
Yeah. Do you think that Doug would have got more out of Jalen Hurts than what Nick has?
He got a lot out of him in those first 4 games, but
let me rephrase it. Would he be a better player today?
It depends. Would they have had to turn into a run team, or would they have rocked with Doug's pseudo hybrid West Coast style of offense that he did? I mean, Jalen, I remember that Cardinal game that year. He threw for 350 rookie year with Doug. So I think he'd probably be better. Doug is a quarterback guy. Nick's not a quarterback guy. Nick's a wide receiver guy.
Doug's a QB guy.
Yeah, he is.
So was Frank.
Well, why didn't it work with Trevor?
Press Taylor.
I don't know why Doug was so loyal to Press Taylor.
All these coaches, man, They're loyal to somebody, just like KP.
Yeah, but Krause wasn't loyal to him like
Well,
Krause
Nick
is.
was loyal to Kevin Patullo.
No, he wasn't. He fired his ass.
Bro, he elevated him first and gave him a job he wasn't qualified for.
Well, I mean, who would you have hired in February 15th?
I wouldn't have hired my buddy.
Okay, who would you have hired February 15th?
I would have went anywhere on the firing pile with someone.
Oh, so you wouldn't have hired the person who was just a part of your offense that won a fucking Super Bowl?
Who would you rather have hired for Jalen's OC?
Who did the Seahawks hire this year?
Would you have rather had Eric Bieniemy last year as your OC or Kevin Patullo?
Eric Bieniemy's riding the coattails of Andy. Come on.
At least he's called a play.
Seahawks OC. Who'd they hire?
They elevated a guy.
Oh, it's interesting how Super Bowl teams lose coaches late and then they elevate guys on their staff already.
You think Seattle's going to not miss a beat like what Detroit did?
I didn't say that. I'm just saying that's not uncommon.
So the addition of Mannion is going to improve the offense. I'm saying you're saying this, but the addition of Mannion replacing Patullo will be an upgrade. Yeah, well, I'll wait till September on that one as well. All right, let's go to the next question. With the new offense here, how are the new offensive toys going to benefit Sean Mannion's new offense?
I don't know. It depends what offense he runs. I mean, I think he's got good. I think they did a committee approach to replace AJ. I think they should try and get Stowers on the field a little bit more, but are they going to be a running offense? Like, I don't know. Are they going to be a running offense or not?
I don't think so. Did you hear what I said about Hurts? I said this earlier. You know what I think they're going to try to do? They're not going to move the receivers around. I think they're going to try to have the quarterback on the move more, throwing the ball to his right. Manage half the field. Well, dude, the guy doesn't like motion. He doesn't like throwing across the middle of the field. There's only one other way to fix that. Do what they did with Montana.
Did you hear Howard defending him today? Howard Roseman?
What'd he say?
He just defended Hurts a little bit.
I thought he did too. Somebody posted that on my X account. I didn't take it that he didn't defend him. I thought he did defend him.
Well, yeah, but it was a very public PR type statement. I mean, I think Howie believes he's more responsible for the Super Bowls than anybody. I really do. And he might not be wrong. I'm not sure whether he is or not.
I think Howie Roseman's name should be on every player's ring. That So you have no idea how these guys are going to – how are you going to use Stowers? I'm curious.
I think he's going to be the seventh option. Run through him. You want to run through him? Let's do it together. Option. Devontae's number one, right?
I guess.
Okay. Would Lemon be number two for you?
Early? No. Be number three.
Okay. Who'd be number two?
Gets his feet wet.
Goddard?
Yeah.
Okay. Goddard 2. Lemon 3.
And then Lemon 3.
All right. Wide receiver 3 will be who?
Wicks.
Okay. Wicks. Jalen Hurts' legs or Jalen Hurts. All right. What about Saquon Barkley?
Barkley catching a little bit too.
Okay. So that's 7. There's 6. The 7th would be Eli Stowers, the second tight end of the team.
Wow. Spreading the ball around. What a concept. Here. I can't wait to see how they're gonna do all this here now with Lemon. So
I think Lemon's going to be a really good player.
Okay.
I just don't know if it's going to be
year one.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I don't know because how do we know about this offense?
Agreed.
So I'm just saying, all things aside, player, I like Mekhi Lemon. I think he's going to be a really good player. I just don't know when that's going to be and how much they're going to put on his plate early. I think he's going to be a type of dude that maybe has an impact quick.
Do you think he's more of a Puka Nacua kind of guy?
He's a little smaller than that. Nakua's physical, dude.
But doesn't he? He does all of his work in the middle of the field like Nacua does.
Yeah, he does. I'm just saying I don't love that comp just for that reason. Like Puka plays physical.
How about CD?
CD's a little shiftier, but that's a good comp. I think like a hybrid of Amon-Ra and CD may be a good one. I mean, that's high praise, but that's just an example of a
Skill
style. That's
set.
not,
You're talking
that's
skill
not
set.
a saying he's going to be that. But yeah, I mean, look, he's great route runner, great hands. Gets separation, good over the middle of the field. He seems to have a great awareness. I think he runs with more tenacity than the report said. I mean, a lot of reports were like he's not good after the catch, but that's just because he doesn't have breakaway speed. But he does run hard after the catch. Like he had one run last year where he bulldozed some dudes and got to the end zone. I was pretty impressed by it. So I think Lemon's going to be good. Do we have the offense to get him involved quick, early, often? I don't know.
Gary talked to people at Southern Cal, and he thinks that's a bullshit thing they said about the kid too after the catch. So we'll see. And Gary's talking to SC guys and Lincoln Riley guys. So all right. So Z.
Uh-oh. This is our last segment of the week. Make it good.
Oh, you got it. So Z, you agree that there's going to be some form of schematic change in the style of play for the 2026 Philadelphia Eagles, right? We don't know what that percentage is going to be. We have no idea yet. It could be a lot. It could be 30%. Yeah. But you agree they're rolling that way, right?
Yes, that's certainly everything. Everything would point to that being true, yes.
Okay, schematically.
John still doesn't believe it.
Okay, well, I don't know how you don't see it.
Well, no, he sees it, but he thinks they're just going to revert after a couple weeks.
He's not off, I don't think. Hey.
He's like, they're not going to go 6 weeks of sucking, so they're going to revert before then.
So talent-wise, you agree the people they're bringing into the room also enhances that statement that there's going to be some type of schematic and scheme change and play calling because of the players they're bringing in, correct? You drafted a guy in the first round, you paid a guy, you traded for a guy. We agree with that too, personnel-wise, right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, outside the quarterback and the running back, which are maybe the two most important offensive players, and your guard, Landon Dickerson, but I think everybody else is, yeah.
The coaching staff, passing coordinator, run game coordinator, OC, also dictates it. So we've kind of checked all the boxes. So here's my question to you. With all being yes by Z, on a scale of 1 to 10, is Howie making contingency plans for the quarterback position?
Not yet.
1 to 10.
Not yet. He would have spent a pick on a quarterback if that was true. I mean, Cole Payton in the fifth is
funny. He's spending assets around the quarterback right now.
But he did that He did that every other year.
He hasn't drafted a wide receiver in the top 3 rounds in 5 years.
Since Smitty.
Correct.
And he traded an 18th overall pick in 2022.
4 years. Right. 4 years he hasn't drafted.
Oh, they had the players, dude.
No. Okay. So you think all of this. Now, get this. It's funny. You agreed with the scheme change.
Oh, for example, the Bengals haven't drafted a receiver.
Well, they're not doing scheme changes in Cincinnati. So scheme changes, personnel changes, and coaching changes. And yet when we get to the quarterback not having a contingency plan, that's a no.
I'll put the burden on you.
Okay.
Where have they shown you that they have a contingency in place for the quarterback?
Everything they're doing around the quarterback. I see it differently than you. They're building like this team for somebody else, it looks like, not that guy.
Well, maybe you're right. I mean, if it falls flat, then that will be what happens. But contingency to me is getting somebody in the building. Mekhi Lemon right now.
They did get somebody in the building. All the players around
Oh, no, you're not going to say Cole Payton is coming.
I'm not talking about that dumb.
Contingencies.
That Swiss Army knife. I'm talking. Oh my God.
You know what their contingency is? I'll tell you what their contingency is.
And no extension. I don't know, man.
Wait, I'll tell you what their contingency is. It's the future first-round pick they're going to get from A.J. Brown, and that's why they used this year to get their receiver.
So Tanner McKee's not a contingency for the future for the Eagles.
I've been saying pay Tanner. I would extend Tanner McKee. 3 years, $20 million. He'll take it. I think he will.
I'd wait my time here. You know why? If I was any quarterback in pro football, the thing that attracts me to Philly is not the head coach, it's the GM. That's what attracts. If I was Josh Allen, Joe Burrow, you know what attracts me? That guy knows what he's doing on finding players to put around an offense.
Well, obviously.
Yeah, well, guess what?
I think everybody wishes they could play with Howie Roseman right now.
That's, I mean, okay. So
Howie's the best GM in maybe all sports right now. And the interesting part to me is like
that guy in Seattle's awful good too, dude.
Oh, he's excellent, but I don't think he's had quite the level of success. Now, he's had pretty good success. I mean, with Pete Carroll, post Pete Carroll, still done a really good job, but I think Howie's at another level. I mean, and do you agree? Like, is it harder to be a great GM in football or basketball?
Right. You only need 5 guys. Really, you only need 1 guy.
You don't even need 5. You need like 3 studs in your fucking game time.
Get me Wemby and I'm good.
Yeah, it's like, and the GM in Philly is like the worst fucking GM I've ever seen. That guy gives me migraines. But
give me Wembanyama and I'm ready to roll.
Yeah, I've hated Daryl Morey I hate's a strong word. I shouldn't say hate. I don't hate him. I don't even know the guy. But yeah, he's driven me crazy for a long time.
Everyone's all over Embiid's tip because he goes for 31. Don't worry, he'll bring you back to reality tonight or tomorrow night. I mean, give me a break here. All right, Z. Got no one here. You ready?
Yep.
Will Devontae Smith replace A.J. Brown's presence?
No. A.J. Brown is.
By committee?
Yeah, it's a committee approach. Smitty's going to have to win different ways. I think the difference with Smitty is, and this is where the scheme does come into play, where with A.J. Brown, and maybe they should have done this more, but they didn't. It was never really like you had to like scheme guys open. You know how you hear that all the time? A.J. Brown was, if you get one-on-one, I don't give a shit who's on him. That ball's coming his way probably. That's why Hurts loved man coverage. He found man coverage. A.J.'s got single man coverage on him. Boom, throw the ball to A.J. Brown. Now it feels like with these smaller receivers, they're less imposing physically. Devontae's a much better route runner than A.J. Brown. I firmly believe that. Mekhi Lemon's another good route runner, great trusted hands. It feels like there's going to have to be more of a scheming guys open, which is not something that I think is something you want to rely on too much. You want to rely on that talent. But if Smitty can get in space, I think his route running is so good he'll get open. But from a presence standpoint, it's hard to say that Devontae Smith's going to replace A.J. Brown, dude. A.J. Brown was a tough dude for defenses to cover, because if you ever took the second man off A.J., he was getting the ball, and 90% of the time he was going to win that battle one-on-one, even if he was covered. Even if you had a sticky corner who could stick him, A.J. was going to make the catch. I don't know you can say that about Devontae, which means you're going to need him to win those battles more often than you needed A.J. to.
He had 3 drops a year ago that he was credited with.
Who, Devontae?
Yeah. And I believe A.J. had 7.
If I remember correctly, Devontae had a couple of drops early in the season, very early. Or was that a different year?
This will be also, remember, he's going against the number 1 corners now, too. And
yeah, that's tough, dude.
I think this is going to be a really interesting year for him. I would say this, that I think also, too, you're going to validate whether or not you think that guy was drafted to be a number 1. This year will be the first year he gets a chance to show that draft pick with this, that he was either going to be Robin or he's a Batman, because you're going to find out right away if this guy if he doesn't turn out to be a 1, would that pick turn out to be a little bit more disappointing? If he can't, really? A 10th pick in the draft.
I mean, dude, he's had a lot of success with the Eagles for me to
because of Brown on the field too. That's what they're going to say, Zander. They're going to say that because he's on the field.
I don't know, dude. I don't see it like that.
You really?
I just don't. I think Devontae was a good pick.
Take control.
Devontae was a good pick for the team at the given time.
bro.
Not every pick is going to be there for 8-10 years.
Yeah, but I never understood you getting the 10th pick at wide receiver the following year. You make a trade for A.J. Brown and you trade a 1 away. Weren't you convinced he's a 1? I've never seen that in my life. Where you drafted the 10th pick and then the following year you drafted another wideout.
All right, well, let me ask you this, because I just want to be fair to Smitty here. I mean, how much does the style of offense the Eagles play take away from his ability to be a 1?
A ton.
So
that's why it's a question, Zander.
Yeah, well, that's a fair question. I see it a little differently. Like, to me, Devontae's already.
I'm not saying he can't do it. I'm asking the question whether you think that with not him being out there, don't you think that's kind of a question that he's got to grab the number 1 and show that he is a JSN or he's a Jamar Chase kind of. I'm not saying you have to be exactly that.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to be a 1.
You got to be a 1,400 yard guy, don't you?
Yeah, but all right. I might have interpreted your question a little wrong. I thought you were saying, would it be looked at as kind of a waste of a pick?
No way. No.
I don't see it as a bad pick, but yeah, you want him to be a 1. I mean, that's why. Yeah, you want him to be a 1. But
like, how about this? If Nolan Smith turns out to be a rotational pass rusher, would you be disappointed that guy didn't solidify himself as the number 1? And the reason I say that, did they bring in Jonathan Grenard to not have Jalix Hunt start? Or did they bring in Jonathan Grenard because they know Nolan Smith can't make a season? Why did they bring him in? If you drafted a guy 3 years ago at 30, how come, and you brought in a guy a year ago, was Jalen Phillips brought in and was Jonathan Grenard traded for because Nolan Smith hasn't panned out?
Well, remember, Jonathan Grenard's like not the first move they made there,
Oh, they've made 2 years.
They had a trade for Phillips. Yeah, they had
2 years in a row they've made a move. I'm asking you.
3, dude. They signed Huff.
Oh, that's right. That's right. They signed Huff too. Is that more an indictment on Nolan Smith?
Yeah, I think Nolan's been a little underwhelming as a first-round pick. I do.
And he's not bad. I don't want anyone to think
he's not bad, but he's not. I mean, I say this to John. And
he's like, he's not grabbed the starting job yet.
No, he definitely hasn't. I think Jalix Hunt's going to be above him this year.
I do too.
Well, I think Jalix going to be a better rusher. They might need Nolan on the field because Grenard's a great rusher, so they need him for run stopping and stuff, setting the edge. But I like Jalix, so we'll see.
So, are you still under that? Do you still believe that last year you guys were 22nd in run defense? You think that number's going to improve, right?
It depends on the offense.
Are you like you don't believe Nick cares about run defense?
Well, I think he cares. I just think the number was a little bit off last year because when you watch the Eagles defense, I didn't see a 22nd worst run defense in the league. I didn't. I thought they looked better, but I think how much they were on the field, the offense consistently getting 3 and outs, and Vic, I think, gave up some of the run because he was so focused on coverage like he is often. So I think it's a little bit of not a fuddy statistic, but it doesn't tell the full story. And I do think they will be better this year, though. I think they're going to be a better defense all around.
Here's Grenard makes the front 7 better. My question on Campbell will be, okay, is he healthy right now? Is he okay?
Yeah, Campbell.
I don't know. I thought I heard him. Yeah. I thought I heard that he had like a shoulder operation or he had a procedure done.
Dude, what's up with all these soldiers? Oh shit, you're right. Wait a second. Campbell underwent a shoulder procedure in March?
Yes. You still there, Z?
I'm here. You got me?
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry, I don't know what.
Hey, he won.
Reading about this. I remember talking, dude. It all runs together so much. That's right. Vic, John Clark asked Vic.
You covered it, dude. You covered it.
I remember. I know. I cover it all, dude. It all. Sometimes it just goes in and out, in and out. It is what it is.
So, Makuba, where's he right now? Is he going to be ready to go OTAs and minicamp? I don't know. I'm asking. I'm not leading or anything here.
That's another guy. I should probably research. Is Makuba healthy? Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Will they be better than a year ago with another first place schedule? Let's see. You got a lot of good football teams that are going to run the ball on them or at them, attempt to. I think Grenard plays really well. I'm going to be interested to see how he fits in. I'm going to see how much impact, too, Grenard has on Carter. And will Davis be able to be a 3-down guy? I mean, that's still yet to be determined. And
what's up with these shoulder injuries? Why does everybody get a shoulder injury?
Lack of contact. These guys don't practice a lot. And that's a league thing.
The fuck?
Bro, that's a league thing, man. They just don't hit a lot.
Yeah, but is there another team that has this many shoulder injuries?
No, I don't know. I think your secondary is not bad except for safety.
Secondary's fire.
Got those two dudes back there, man. Once you got those two dudes back there, man,
you got Coop and Quinion. And then I think Reek Woolen's going to a solid player. I don't think he's like an end-all, be-all, but he's a solid cornerback too with Coop.
He's better than Authority.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Top 5? Top 5?
Sorry, you made me choke on my drink.
I know. I see that. that fancy Coke of yours made you choke there. Top
it's
5?
Just a regular Coke, dude.
Top 5?
Top 3.
Yeah, top 3. Okay.
We got Fangio. We got great D-line. We got good secondary, good linebackers. They won't be top 3, though, if the offense sucks.
No. So do you believe one more, because I had somebody over at IP, I can't say any longer who, but somebody asked me, and because they agree with you and John, you do believe that Jalen Carter gets his contract extension this offseason, yes?
No, next season.
No, they think I'm full of shit, that it's just a placeholder, that he's still going to get it this offseason.
No, maybe. I think next.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to do it now.
Big Z.
Fuck is Ken's out, Twiz? Look, he already made his picture of me. What, did I freeze or something? Is my internet shit again?
And it was a little bit. Well, the 2026
Ken's out, Twiz.
Okay. So here's Z. 25. Number 24 in total. Number 23 in passing. Number 18 in rushing. Number 19 in scoring. And number 24 in third down. Will the 2026 offense be how much better than this 25 offense?
$18th overall.
You better have the number 1 ranked defense in NFL then, buddy.
I mean, how high you think they can get? I mean, even if Mannion has a good offense, he's still a first-year guy.
I think if you get to 15th, it'd be a grand slam win.
15th.
If you get to the middle of the league.
I mean, that's embarrassing. That we have really gotten ourselves to a point where 15th and we're happy.
Here's another question here for you, son.
I don't want to be 15th. Is that all right with you?
Yeah, that's why I don't watch World Cup. I'm sick of rooting for America being 15th in the world.
I don't watch World Cup because I'm fucking normal.
Yeah, I do watch it for the chicks in the stands. I won't lie. All right. Will Mekhi Lemon earn a starting job, or will it be handed to him on the opening day?
He'll earn it. That's why they brought in Wicks and Hollywood Brown and Elijah Moore. I mean, I think Hollywood Brown is actually a viable competition. I mean, Hollywood Brown.
By the way, I want to make this clear to you, Z. I don't think Wicks and Brown, maybe Elijah, maybe on the back end of that, but I don't think those are bad football players. I think you're deeper now than you've ever been at wideout.
Well, Hollywood Brown has as much NFL experience as Devontae Smith does in terms of games played. How many games played does Hollywood Brown have in his career?
Dude, Hollywood Brown is a pretty accomplished player.
He's got 90 games played. That's the most experience of anybody in that room. How many games has Devontae Smith played?
68.
Yeah. Hollywood Brown's got more experience than anybody on that group. With obviously, winning teams too. So I don't think Elijah Moore is making it, to Rasputin's point. I think he's cooked. Wex says I think Wex is going to be all right, actually. He kind of got swallowed up there in the in Green Bay, but we'll see. What was the offense rank last year? 25th?
23rd, 20. They were ranked 23rd. Oh, wait, 24th.
24th. Right, they got to get to 16th.
24th.
Is 16th going to be enough to win it all?
If your defense is second, yeah. Depending on how you look at the other teams. I think Seattle took a step back. I think the 49ers are going to be better. I think the Rams are pretty much the same. They did improve.
Better.
I think they did improve with McDuffie. I think the Bears are continuing to add players to their roster.
Yeah, but they had some key losses.
I think you're going to see Detroit, after coming off of the Ben Johnson not being in the building, I think they're going to rebound. I think the Cowboys are going to be better. I would also say an outlier team. Who would be an outlier team? Green Bay is going to be good.
Niners are going to be good, I think.
Niners are going to be really good. Again, healthy.
This is going to be a miserable season. Sileo's chosen teams for the year are the Niners and the Cowboys.
Well, they beat the shit out of you last year in the playoffs. Why wouldn't that be a bad take?
I'm just saying it's going to be a miserable year from that perspective. Like, at least last year you were on the bummy Commanders. Nobody gives a fuck about the Commanders.
Yeah, it was also you being 11 wins and one and done. Here's your picks next year in 27. First, a second. So far with the conversion chart with your comp picks, looks like you're only getting one right now. That would be the Phillips on the third. So you would get a 3. You'd have a 4.
Did that get wiped out by the Bernard trade or no?
Not that one. Another one. Who? Because you lost Jalen, you lost Reed. Who was the other guys that you lost? Jalen? Nakobe's going to be worth a 3. And I think that's where you get the Phillips. That's where, because I think you're only getting one comp next year.
Will the Eagles three-peat in the NFC East?
No.
Who's going to win the East?
Cowboys.
I don't even think you believe that.
I do believe that. Yeah, what do you mean I don't believe that? Of course I believe that.
I'm coming to smash that helmet like my boy KCA says. I'm coming. That helmet's getting smashed, so enjoy it. Take a picture of the little signature on it. Save it for later. That helmet's going in the fucking dump.
Is Jalen Phillips all in on the changes?
Jalen Phillips?
Or Jalen Hurts?
Goodbye and good riddance. Enjoy shitty Carolina. The team will be back to irrelevance.
I think he'll be all excited about that $40 million direct deposit on Tuesday.
Oh, shit. Good.
Is Jalen Hurts all in on the changes?
Who do you believe?
Okay, was Jalen Hurts all in on the changes last year, you think?
No.
So do you think he's all in on the changes this year?
I think Jalen wants to play a different style of offense than what.
Do you think Jalen's going to wait and see with these guys?
I think Jalen thinks these all dudes are all here today and gone tomorrow, and I don't know if he trusts any one of them.
And I believe what you just said, and I would believe the same way.
Yeah, how can you blame him? He's the only constant.
I'm the most competent guy and the most decorated guy in the room. And I'm going to believe in Sean Filet Mignoning trying to tell me how to run an offense.
Sean Filet Mignon, he shaved his head. He went bald. I'm thinking of following his lead. This guy delivers a top 10 offense.
There'll be a
I'll be
lot of
smashing
shade.
that helmet with a bald dome. Look, it's getting worse. Holy shit, dude. His hair is gone. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, but on, man. Holy cow.
I didn't get that Italian side in me from my mother.
What guy do you think outside of Lemon has a chance of starting?
What, from the draft class?
Yeah.
Well, is this your new thing that if a draft pick doesn't play in year one, it's a certified bust?
Nope.
Just yeah, it is.
You. No, it isn't.
I think Lemon is going to be on the field. I think your second round pick has a shot. If something happens to Goddard, he's going to be your future when Goddard leaves inevitably after the year. I think your third round pick is the tackle for the future. No, and I think you're going to play it right away.
So you think Stowers is going to get a lot of playing time?
I mean, yeah, I think decent. I don't think a shit ton, but I think decent.
Yeah, because he's not better than Goddard right now, right?
No, I don't know. I don't think so. No.
Unless he turns out to be Travis Kelce right away.
I mean, that's like every team, though. I mean, every year. I mean, you're not going to get every guy on the field.
That applies to every NFL team that just had a draft.
You know what that means to me? You know what that means to me?
What?
We got a fucking good roster.
That's right.
I hear teams, they go, we got 4 guys that are going to be started. Oh, no. That's because you guys stink.
Zander, if you took your draft and had it in New York with the Jets, every guy you drafted would start.
Yeah, at least we drafted Mekhi Lemon and we didn't draft, what's the dude's name? Malachi Lawrence. Guy's going to be the 4th edge rusher on that team, and he's a stiff. He'll be Mozzie Smith. He'll be gone in no time. Be trading him for a late 6th round pick in the 3 years.
Someone tried jamming that in on me. I'm like, I think he's decent. You could have got
him. Caleb Downs was a good pick,
but
anybody could have made that pick.
I think you could have got that kid Lawrence in the 3rd round. I mean, I'm like, I don't really like. Okay, Jalen Hurts now.
You might be Jalen Hurts' biggest fan.
I am. He's one of the. I am the biggest fan of Jalen Hurts on the planet. You know why? Because every single day, other people give me content to talk about because they're just validating some of the shit we've been saying about all the things that the Eagles are doing right now in the offseason here. Tell me again what you think a successful season will be for Jalen Hurts this year, for them not to move on from him.
For Jalen? Mm-hmm. Not the team.
For Jalen.
He's got to get people involved. He's got to move the ball in offense. They can't be there's no being a 25th ranked offense that leads the league in 3 and outs and saying, oh, it's because we couldn't run. Dude, you're a franchise quarterback. Franchise quarterbacks realize they can't run and then they figure out how to fix it. Like that, those excuses are gone to me. So they can't be a bottom of the league offense, and they got to move the ball better. They got to get playmakers involved, and he's got to show that he can run whatever the scheme is that they want to run. I think it's 34. I'm not a big fan of putting the numbers on it, but 3,400 plus passing to me, a good efficiency rate, moving the ball through the air. And it can't feel like our offense is holding our team back again. Because it felt like that last year. I know everybody felt it. Even the guys who don't want to admit it, they felt it. Like Spike and Chicken Alfredo, these guys, they felt it, but they won't admit it because they got a blueprint, which is all right. But so that's what I think success is for him. I don't think it's a number. I don't think it's a certain amount of yards. I just think we have to be a competent football team that can beat you in multiple ways, that keeps defenses on their toes, that allows our defense to get rest every once in a while on the freaking sideline. They have to be a competent football team, moving the ball through the air, running the football well. I think he's got to get back to that dual threat. I don't think he's been a dual threat really. Certainly wasn't really last year. He had 350 rushing yards or whatever it was. So I think he's got to run the ball more and competent on offense.
I went back and watched that interview with Jeff Stoutland on New Heights, and I watched pretty much all of it instead of just a couple clips of it. And boy, I'll tell you what, man, he made, in my opinion, Kevin Patullo sound like he had no fucking idea what he was doing. That was my takeaway. That guy,
that one?
Yeah, that guy did not know he had no idea what the hell he was doing, man, in there. And There is no doubt. I mean, I hear what you're saying, Zander. You're coming out after the fact. You're throwing rocks at a guy. I mean, you were in the room too, dude.
Yeah, dude.
I got it. Y'all go down with the ship.
Also, he didn't wait very long. I mean, he didn't wait very long to kind of shit on the birds on the way out. Waited like what, 4 weeks, 3 weeks?
And see, this is something else that I took away. Hurts went along with it. Like he went along with all this.
I guess is that the coach's kid in him?
Okay. But don't you, as a leader of your offense, isn't this the shit that AJ was saying, though?
Well, how many reports did we get that he changes the call at the line?
Hold on. Well, the reason he changes the call is because he's got a problem with what's going on in there like this, but you still had to go along with the approach of what they did all year. They still went with the 4 verts thing. I mean, Jalen may have changed it, but they're all in it together in this thing here. And I wonder if that's what really rubbed Stoutland wrong is that, I mean, A.J. Brown was saying it to us the whole time. He was saying all last year. Maybe, listen, I don't think he despises Jalen. I just think that he got upset with Jalen going along with it. And I think this all comes down to the hiring of the Petula. Don't you agree the hiring of Petula is what set this thing sideways? Your point is exactly correct. Sills, who are you hiring in February 4th? So maybe the organization wasn't prepped and prepared the replacement of Kellen Moore.
The Seahawks hired Brian Fleury.
I'll tell you what, that guy in Seattle's done a fucking great job up there.
McDonald?
Running that ship there with what's his name, John Schneider. They've done a pretty damn good job up there, man. And by the way, guess what they're doing it with? They're doing it with.
So you're telling me Schneider's better than Howie? They have less success by every metric than Howie.
They have less success. He has just as many Super Bowls as your boy does.
When was their last one? 2011,
bro. John Schneider has 3 NFC. Let's see, went back to back. They won one. They went back. They got beat by the Patriots and that Malcolm Butler. They went to the Super Bowl again and they won it. Then they went to I think he's got 3 rings, dude. He's actually.
All right.
Oh,
get off the wall. Hey, Humpty Dumpty, get off the wall. If you had to start a team right now, who would you take to be your GM? John Schneider or Howie Roseman?
Okay, I'll take whoever you don't want.
Okay, I'll take Howie. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Howie's building a better team, more consistent.
I don't have a problem.
John Schneider.
John Schneider's a Hall of Fame guy too, dude. Okay.
Why aren't you ripping him for letting his running back walk?
Because he knows that Super Bowl MVPs with 1,000 yards, they're just a dime a dozen.
He doesn't have
like Kenny
rings.
Walker.
Hey, Brandon, thank you. He doesn't have 3 rings. Another Sileo-ized and
he's got 2 rings and 3 NFC championships. Yes.
Okay, Howie's got 2 rings and probably how many NFC championships? 4?
4?
No, 3.
3. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good call here. Let's see. John Schneider, Seahawks. Let's see here.
Let me do it. How many? Who is?
He's 3-time Super Bowl champion, and he's also the executive of the year this past season. He's got 3 Super Bowls. Yep. He's got 3 Super Bowl championships. And he's got 3 NFC. I think he's got 4 NFC championships. Guy's pretty good, dude.
So you would take Schneider over Howie?
I think Howie does a better job with contracts. And they're both of them are really good on personnel. Howie gets
I'm taking
them out.
Howie. I'm just letting you know. I'm taking.
You know what you guys were talking about though is that you're never going to see and you're not going to see that trend of analytic guys getting in there with the owners going.
No, you're not.
But your comment was dead on. He's a one-off.
Yeah, Howie. Oh,
yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, I don't think that trend's continuing. That's why Hallaby just left.
Yeah, and I agree with you. Good, let these guys go. It's not really a big deal.
Yeah, no, it is what it is.
I by the way, I like Joe Douglas being in the building. I think Joe Douglas did a nice job in New York.
Well,
I
he
think
drafted some good players,
he
but
he couldn't get the
if you can't
quarterback
get a
right.
quarterback, yeah, it's just
Right, he couldn't get the quarterback right, but
that's where Howie's different.
you see, but that's where Schneider's different too. Here,
Schneider's done good too.
watch this. Third round, Russell Wilson
To Geno, to Sam Darnold.
to Darnold. Never had to spend big money on a guy. And when they had to start spending big money on Wilson, they moved him.
And they moved Russ at the perfect time. He timed that perfectly. Russ fell apart after that.
I think Howie has more of the owner, like, he has the owner's blessing to, like, do just so much. You think that Julian is now, they're moving, these guys are quitting because, follow me here, or they're looking for other opportunities here. So you're changing the offense. You're taking the roster in a different direction. You're seeing a lot of exits in the front office. You think the organization's going through a facelift? A small one? A little bit? Front office moves, roster moves, when offense, transitioning from defense to offense, or from offense to defense and payroll.
Isn't that the nature of the NFL, though? Like, aren't you constantly going through facelifts?
There's an expiration date on everything.
Yeah, and it's quick. I mean, you got it. That's why I think Howie's so good. I think Howie takes the rosters that are about to be expired and turns them over like he did in 2020. That roster wasn't even that bad, but it was so injured that it made it look really bad. But he still turned it over pretty quick. So I think that's where Howie does best, you know?
You mean he moves on?
I see Holmes. You think he thinks that the Cowboys had a better draft than the Eagles?
Yeah. I think if you don't have Grenard involved in your weekend, how was your weekend?
Okay, but what a bullshit thing, because we had Grenard.
I didn't ask
you that. Like saying, how was the Cowboys draft without Caleb Downs? Well, it wasn't that good.
Wait, they drafted him. I'm asking you without the trade. How was your weekend without Grenard in it?
I'm going to include Grenard. It was a great weekend.
That's not what wait. He wasn't drafted.
Yeah, but they used a third-round pick to go down. Uh-oh, is this my internet or Sileo's? Is this my internet or Sileo's? You guys got to tell me in the chat because my internet was sucking all day too. All right, it's Sileo. So you guys can still hear me. I see Mark in the I can tell by Mark's smirk in the green room. He's coming in for blood. Hey, he's coming in. Sup, Sileo? Oh, is he back? Is he not back? Who knows? Who knows? Oh, fuck is this dude? This is the National Football Show with your host, Zander Krause. I'm the captain now, Sileo. I'm the captain now. I'm the captain now, baby. We got the Battle Royale coming right up, folks. But to Sileo's point about GMing, I really don't think that Howie can be beat by anybody right now. I think Schneider's done a good job. But, I mean, I'm looking at the turnover that the Eagles have had, switching out, coaches, quarterbacks. Well, I guess they switched out Pete and Russ, obviously, too. So, yeah, I mean, they've had a good run, too. Here he is.
I don't know what the hell's going on, man. It's totally me.
Yeah, well, I'm the captain now, Sileo.
Yeah, right. So we gonna find out this coming year.
How many wins you got for the Birds?
Big changes, dog.
How many wins you got for the Birds?
The Grenard move kind of moves it a bit.
Oh, does it?
8.
So you got 8 wins for the Eagles and the Cowboys winning the East. You're setting
11.
yourself up for a bad year.
Ooh, like last year? I had a great year last year, boss.
Didn't you predicted the Commanders to win the East? They won 4 fucking games.
So you pick one out of 50 fucking things I got right.
That's all I need, guy.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Now you're learning there, little.
That's all I need, Sileo.
Hey, that's all.
All right, let's read these super chats.
All right.
I want to leave. I got some shit.
By
to
the
do.
way, this guy's bailing on me, man, because he's going to go pretend to be Mario Andretti.
No, I'm gonna. Oh yeah, that. But I'm also going. I'm going to the land of Diana. Pieta says off-season and draft point to a passing offense.
Yes, sir. Yes, man.
All right, Pieta.
Or whatever. Yes.
Selbo says Mannion is a quarterback guy.
Ooh. Based on what? Because he was a player.
He was a quarterback in the NFL.
Oh, got it.
Well, what made Doug Peterson a quarterback guy?
Oh, Doug Peterson was a great assistant coach first for a little bit.
He was in Kansas City.
Yep.
Selbo says Drake May had no one except Diggs. Diggs only had 1,000 yards and 6 tutties with a weak schedule. SMH.
And he was the Boston Strangler. Hey, by the way, if you're A.J. Brown, do you go to New England?
I would send A.J. Brown to wherever the Eagles get the most. I don't know why. Like, what's up with the infatuation with New England here? We're acting like one team is in this thing.
Right. Why don't you send him to the Browns?
Well, the Browns don't want him. That's why. They're not ready to get him. You have to send him to a team that's willing to pay for an expensive wideout, which is a good team.
Yeah, but I'm gonna trade the guy to the shittiest team to get the most back for, not the defending AFC.
Yeah, but you have to find again that.
But I do like they're trading him out of the conference.
Why would a bad team though trade for a 30-year-old $30 million wideout? You need to go like that's why I thought the Rams are a good option because they're right in the mix. You need a team that wants a short shelf life or is okay with a short shelf life and wants to go win right now.
You don't think that
AJ Brown's got a bum knee, dude?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
He does.
If Drake May, wait a minute, if A.J. Brown goes with Josh McDaniels to New England, he's going to have 1,400 yards this coming year. I mean, dude, Sean Mannion or Josh McDaniels as your play caller. I don't know. Just me.
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
Here's Kyle. Kyle says, I'm going to quote my girl. Investing in the Cowboys is like getting your taxes back. I don't even know what that means. But do you know what that means?
What is that, Kyle? Are you saying it's like getting shortchanged from the government?
Yeah, it's like giving you back. I don't know. I don't know what he's saying.
I'm expecting this in a return. Heads up, I owe money.
Kyle, I don't know. I want to disrespect your girl. I don't know. She's no Sue, that's for sure. Dimitri says, Sills D-Rides every team in the NFC East. SMH. Yeah, he's toying with you, Dimitri.
Toying.
He's got you. He's like playing with you like a fiddle, dude, and you're buying into it.
Not me, man. I have. So get this. So I had. I'll Rhea. I'm gonna call you out. So I guess John Ritchie's going like. He goes like this. Those guys over at JAKIB kicked the shit out of Hurts. And I told Rhea, I go, that's not true.
I don't kick the shit out of Hurts. I give Hurts so much credit. It's stupid how much credit I give him.
That's not true. I go, those guys are, and those guys at 365, they're pretty fair. I'm the one that's not fair. Because I'm a talk show host, dude. I'm not a journalist.
You don't like Hurts. You've been consistent on it for 5 years.
That's not true.
As a player, that's not untrue.
No. Here, I don't like how they've coached him since 22. Yeah.
Oh, now it's the coaching.
You tell me what else it is.
Zander, you have way better takes than Silver. I know, David. I know. That's why I take him to the West. That's why I call it the woodshed.
Yeah. We'll see it again here. Okay, doke.
Be careful. Aunt Betty's going to come for you, David. She came for last time somebody said something like that. All right, Stills, I'm out of here, dude.
Hey, travel safe.
This is our last convo of the week, and you hit me with a bunch of shit that John Schneider is as good of a GM as Howie. It's a crock of shit.
John Schneider has just as much success as Howie Roseman.
He's not a better GM than Howie.
I didn't say that. He has just as much success. There's not one metric where he has
a way longer window.
Okay. That's fair.
Howie does the next 3 years.
But I told you also I would take Howie because of his contract.
Nah, that's not what you said. You said I'll take whoever you won't take.
Yeah, that's not. I did say that too.
Whoa! We all heard it.
I did say that too.
Recorded.
I did
This
say
is
that
live
too.
programming here, Stills. No takebacks, my friend.
I did say that too. Yeah.
All right, I'm out
No.
of here.
Where in God's name is John Schneider not in the level of the next guy?
All right, you can build your team with Schneider. I'll take Roseman.
Okay, he's got 3 Super Bowl rings.
All right.
Oh, he's got 2.
It might take you 38 years to get them.
38 years.
All right, I'm out of here. Please.
All right. I
Please.
appreciate you. Thank you very much. Travel safe, Big Z.
Thank you.
You got it. That's my boy there. This guy's winning Super Bowls with Sam Darnold. I love it. That's how you do it. You don't have to spend $60 million on Dak. You don't have to spend $50 million on Jalen Hurts. Without further ado, man, I couldn't wait. Let me tell you something. I heard this from the Pittsburgh police. The Pittsburgh police told me they're in the mezzanine area where the draft was. There was this giant James Madison guy rolling around out there, and he was going all in on everyone, ripping all the Eagle fans and shitting on everybody, going, the Cowboys are back, baby. Without further ado, the man, the myth, the legend, back from Pittsburgh. He is our friend, Mark Combs for the Dallas Cowboys.
What's up?
Right, we have, without a doubt, the man, the myth, the legend, Philly 500. He joins us now right here on the program. How you doing,
What's up,
brother?
guys?
What's going on?
Wonderful, wonderful. How are you?
So can I say something before we get started here?
Please.
You know, I have been doing this since 2016 when Dak Prescott got drafted. I have literally seen my team choke in the playoffs. I've seen them trade away Amari Cooper for a ham sandwich. I've seen Micah Parsons literally traded away, and I've been passed out drunk on the floor. I've seen us lose and get obliterated by the Green Bay Packers. But you know something you have never seen me do?
What's that?
Cry like a little bitch like Philly 500 did.
Now, why are you going at for a guy that's got passion?
Hold it, 30 seconds.
He's got passion.
30
Whoa,
seconds.
geek, passion. I don't have passion. Literally fall the fuck out.
Hey, all I'm saying to you
Cry
is,
like a little girl. Come on, Philly.
wait a second. If you're gonna
Yeah.
come in, if you're gonna come in like that, I've got to give Philly the chance to retort. Philly, go ahead, brother.
Please do.
Nobody was crying. That's the most ridiculous thing, and he knows it. He knows it because I talked to him the
With
day
the
after.
lip quivers.
He got over.
With the
He
lip
got over on
quivers.
so many people about that. Nobody was crying. It's that simple.
Vander, can we
And,
go to
and
the
he
clip?
shouldn't. And you shouldn't lie to everybody, Mark. Everybody knows that you cried.
Philly,
We
you
saw it
cried,
first.
bro.
You cried. Do I have to
cried
prove it to
because
you?
you knew I was right about A.J. Brown, man. I told you.
I
AJ's
wasn't
going
crying.
nowhere. He's going nowhere. You're just delusional.
Yeah, well.
I told you, brother. I told you.
All right, Philly. So let's start with you then. Mekhi Lemon, the pick.
Yeah.
Did you like it or did you not?
I like it. I like it a lot. Especially when I came to the realization that AJ Brown's really going to go. So once you accept that, yeah, I like it. He was the best player on their board. So they were true to their board and a position that they happen to going to need. And for that reason, I do like it. Yeah.
Do you agree he made most of his hay at SC across the middle of the field? So you're looking at a schematic change in the way they're going to approach the offense going forward.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Right?
Sure. But is that a surprise to us?
No. No.
We knew that was coming anyways.
I just want to get the identity on the player and what you see with him, that he made his hay at Southern Cal across the middle of the field. Let me go back to you, Mark. Stop with that fucking grin of yours over there, man. I mean,
What?
I'm
I
in here
can't be
throwing.
happy ever. I can't. Come on, man. The way you guys have kicked and punked my ass for 2 years now. For
Oh
once,
my God.
I get a little piece, a little taste of payback, and then you slam me on it.
Philly,
Come
you
on.
do look you do look pissed right now. You do
Babe,
look pissed.
I do look pissed.
Yeah.
Why? No, I'm not pissed.
Okay.
I'm trying to do something. I'm trying to send Zander something.
All right.
Okay.
Hey, Mark. Cowboy draft was what to you?
It was great. I mean, being in there and being in the pits and everything else and seeing, we get all of the talking heads talking about the Cowboys are going to trade up to 3. If Reese starts falling, they're going to trade up and get him. And of course, the board, never changed. They wanted Downs all the way around. That was their guy. Will McClay said that he blew him around. He's like a football savant. And for him to start falling and for us to be able to get him, that's incredible. I couldn't be happier. And what really even made me happier was turning over and looking at the draft at Philly 500, crying after we picked up 2 extra picks, after we got 2 4th-round picks from the Eagles. Go watch the tape. So, Dan, did you see the tape?
This guy is so full of shit. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
Here's a guy so full of shit.
Dan.
Here's a guy that gets piss ass drunk because they trade a player.
Yeah,
you got pissed, and your wife had to come turn off
the fuck out on
What
the
kind
floor,
of man
okay?
has to have his wife turn off the camera
because he's
like
a man, but there are no tears, buddy.
Because we traded Michael Parsons. You are so full of shit. You are such a liar, and you got away fooling all these people with this bullshit. And I could care less.
Okay.
All I know is the Eagles are going to whip Dallas's ass this year, and that's it.
Hey, Mark, did you think you had a better draft in Philadelphia this year?
It's you can't really judge this stuff now. Okay, everybody's, you get an A, you get a B.
And then shut your mouth. Stop coming here talking about, we got that.
Crying like a little bitch.
Shut up.
I'm talking about. I didn't say you had a great draft or a bad one. I think we
You said crying. I wasn't crying.
Have done everything to plug the holes on our team. Okay, trading for D.
Yeah, somebody's gonna plug your holes.
Don't get mad, Philly. Don't get mad. Don't get mad and cry and run away now. Okay.
Oh God.
Don't cry, Philly.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Philly, what'd you make of? Go ahead, Mark. I'm sorry.
I will say that the Cowboys did a good job at trying to plug all the holes, getting Downs in there, and even D. Winters. He ended up having 98 tackles, I believe, last year with San Francisco. The fact that I've got San Francisco 49er fans crying to me saying, take good care of him because they're missing him makes me feel a lot better. We have a lot of guys that we've got to see that's proven, but what's clear here is the Dallas Cowboys are not messing with the vision that Christian Parker has. It remains to be seen if it's going to work, but you can see his influence. You could see at the draft, you can see Christian Parker and Schottenheimer there, really intense and really deep into this draft. And so change should be a good thing.
Philly, what about the overall draft, not just Lemon? What'd you make of it?
I liked it a lot. I mean, to me, they filled some needs that they had to fill. I like the tight end. I thought that was the second best tight end in the draft. You need a tight end for the future. I love the offensive lineman they drafted. I love that pick. I think they got 2 really good good offensive linemen that was well needed. So I like both those picks. I like the Lemon pick. I like the Eli Stowers pick. Yeah, I mean the only pick that I didn't really care that much about was the quarterback pick. It's kind of like, you need a developmental quarterback. They always like to have that. So I get it. But overall, I think the Eagles got better. And you can't talk about this draft without talking about the trade for Jonathan Bernard. Yep. That was a move that helps the Eagles, and they didn't pay him $30 million. That was my big thing, is don't pay the guy $30 million,
So, Big Z, do we have a little bit of a video here with Mark Holmes? What's going on here?
Oh, let's see.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
I sell the shit for Jerry Jones.
You know what you don't see?
I am the one that says it's going to be okay. Dak Prescott, he is a top 5 quarterback. I try to tell you, this defense with Dan Quinn is good. I'm the one that makes a lot of you guys believe, and I apologize to you guys for trying to make you believe. Apparently, this shit just can't be fixed. It can't be fixed.
I love these 2 guys.
And it's killing me.
What's that?
It is killing me.
I man the hell up.
Well, look.
Fly like a
He's crying. He's crying.
Zander.
Crying. I think so. Wait.
Liar, and you're a liar.
Killing me, man.
And you lie.
I work.
Okay.
And you lie.
500 up. Let's be fair and
And
balanced.
you
I
lie.
think you should be, Xander. I think you should play the.
And you lie.
I think you got to play the Philly 500 too. One. I think
You play it.
can't be
You can play
one-sided.
Philly 500 being emotional.
Okay,
Oh,
I
Lordy.
think you should. I think you
Nobody
you
was
have to.
crying.
Can I ask a question though?
Mark's just very
Mark, why don't you
gullible.
send Xander
Or I'm a
that?
great actor. I do look like Denzel Washington, though. So I am a good actor. You know.
So wait, and then we can all judge. Hey, Mark, I think you had passion there talking about it. And I think Philly did
crying. He was crying.
I was not crying. Are you kidding me? I was pissed
Yeah,
off.
boy, there was tears.
I was ready to go ahead and
Yeah, that was crybaby shit. And then the biggest crybaby shit is a pass out on your bathroom floor. Sorry, dude.
Bro, man,
Door to live
take my
stream.
troubles away.
Philly, what was your favorite pick of the Eagle draft?
Man, I love the Lemon pick, and I really like the Markel Bell pick. I love the offensive lineman pick because I feel like that's what they needed the most.
Mark, what was your favorite pick in the draft?
Oh, Downs, without a doubt. I mean, our defense definitely got.
Hey, by the way, just for the record, I think he's the best defensive player in the draft.
And time will tell. And if that's the case,
Prospect,
knowing that he can play across the board, our secondary just got a lot better, without a doubt. But I can't wait to see actually how Malachi Lawrence actually plays for us and things with the edge. We've got a lot of potential. We don't have the home run just yet on edge rushing. I'm not sure that the Cowboys are finished, but I think that we are definitely in a better position than we were.
Okay, so we are politically fair here. So here is Philly 500 this past weekend.
Here we go.
And here we go. Okay.
What?
That's
They
a nice
took
smile
a
right
fucking
there.
receiver?
I can tell you what I'm
my
thinking right now
God.
is I'm thinking, I can't believe this AJ
Oh
Brown thing
my,
is gone.
Mr. Zesty. They took Mr. Zesty.
I'm with you.
Well, it hasn't even started yet.
man.
Hold on here. Hold on.
I'm trying to keep my cool.
That looks like a
Bye,
very handsome man right
AJ
there.
Brown. See ya later. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Holy shit. They fucking took a receiver. Dude. They didn't take Omar Cooper, though. They gave up 2-4. Was Dallas gonna pick? No, I mean that makes no sense. Like what? Why?
I'm thinking right there, AJ Brown. I can't
A
believe
USC
he's
small
choking.
receiver.
Yeah, crying.
Two
That's called an acting job, Mark. You know that, right? You think I'm that good of an actor?
I don't get this. I don't even get
I must be.
I'm going to go here with Philly, though, man. On one end here. Hold on here, Mark.
Oh, come on, man.
When they took that receiver, I was like, oh, my God. Now, all the people who thought that A.J. Brown was not going to be
Yeah.
it was over that. It was over that night.
And that was me. That was, I mean, I got slapped in the face with that because I was hoping somehow that AJ thing would, I had to wake the hell up, right? And all I could think about at that moment was, man, guy goes to 2 Super Bowls, 4 years over 1,000 yards, wins a Super Bowl, and we're going to trade him. Like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
You're gonna miss that big body receiver right there.
Oh, but let's talk about your receiver because what goes around comes around. And your boy can't even play more than 1 year in Dallas. And he's already asking
you're
for
going to
a
be
trade.
listening to
He's
Adam,
already asking for a trade.
Mr.
Maybe you should send him to New England.
He can't even get the story straight there, buddy.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
He can.
Well, we'll see.
We all know.
We'll see. He's going.
We all know he wants
Mark,
out.
There's word is that potentially Jerry's thinking of trying to do a trade with Pickens to the Raiders and trying to work a package for Krause.
Here's what I will say. The Cowboys could be falling in love with trades because if you look at it, I think the Dallas Cowboys over the last year have had more trades than anybody else. And you can't deny that the Cowboys have started to amass talent with their trades. Worst case scenario is the Cowboys really aren't in a no-lose situation. If they do make a trade, like you said, with the Raiders and you get Max Crosby, are we a worse team? If our defense can step up and be better than what they were, your offense can take a little step back. So collectively, worst case, you trade him for a pick for next year where the draft is loaded. I would rather have him here, but it's not a situation where I look at it and say, I'm lost. Oh, look at Philly. Oh.
This guy is Denzel. Hey.
You see that? You see that acting job? Dude, where's my Academy Award? Where's my Academy Award?
Hey,
I got more hook, line, and sinker.
Okay.
He caught that shit so fast.
Hey, Mark. Philly. All right, you tell me this. You think Devontae Smith replaces A.J. Brown's presence in the huddle?
Well, you know what? I'm going to say yeah. Because I think that, in all fairness, I think Devontae Smith should have been a captain on this roster last year, maybe the year before, and they gave it to A.J. Brown. They gave it to A.J. Brown out of appeasement. But really, in a lot of ways, Devontae Smith was more the guy than him. So from that standpoint in the huddle, yeah, I think so.
How about this here, Mark? I'm going to ask you an Eagle question. So if Devontae Smith, based on what Philly just said, if Devontae Smith doesn't turn in 1,400 yards.
Well, no, you said in the huddle.
Let me finish. Okay, this is a different question.
Okay.
If he turns in 1,400 yards playing full time, okay, if he doesn't grab that number one and have these kind of yards, instead he's around 1,000 yards like he has been the last couple of years, and he doesn't become the focal point wide receiver gaining bigger yards, do you think that 10th pick overall will be what if this guy's not able to elevate his game? Because, again, I mean, I don't think this is an unfair question. AJ's now out on the team. The next guy has to fucking step up, doesn't he? Yeah. He can't just put up the same numbers against the number 2 corner. He's going against the top guy, and you drafted this guy 10th overall. I'm not saying he's a bad pick. I'm asking you, how will you look at that pick if that guy doesn't become a 1,400-yard receiver?
You're asking Mark or me?
Mark, you.
Well, here's the thing. Not everybody is Batman, and you may be finding out that he's a Robin.
By the way, I'm not saying he's not going to be.
No, I don't know. But see, here's the thing, that A.J. Brown is a much bigger body who can go ahead and reach out and get some of those balls that are kind of behind or late getting there and stuff. Devontae Smith is a smaller receiver, and he's been the number 2 guy. A lot of times, and I'll take Alvin Harper as a great example. You couldn't tell me that Alvin Harper wasn't a great receiver, but when he had to become that guy in Tampa Bay and Washington, he couldn't step up and be a number 1 receiver. And that's where I think this is actually going to hurt. You've got now a rookie who's coming in, and you've got a lot of production that you just lost. What if he's Jalen Reagor?
Oh, well, I'm not going.
Devontae Smith?
No. I'm talking about
he's
Lemon.
Talking Lemon. I don't know yet here, Mark, because it's potential and it's prospects talk right now. So I'm not going anywhere on Lemon yet until we see him get out there in play. But I'm going to turn the question over to Philly now, and I'm going to ask Philly this question. What does the Cowboy offense look like without Pickens in it?
Well, obviously they're not nearly as dynamic in terms of their passing game. So, yeah, it would definitely hurt on that front for sure. There's no question about it.
Okay, let's go here with this one here, guys. Did you do enough, Mark, on defense this offseason so far?
Not yet. I'm not sure yet about D. Winters being the green dot, if that's good enough. The Cowboys have been really working the numbers and trying to bring in players. I still think that the Max Crosby situation is something that they're going to revisit later on here.
Philly, I'll ask you this here on the new now. First and foremost, let me go here. You agree they've added a bunch of pass catching people to the team. You first round pick they used,
Yeah,
they used the trade, so they've added personnel, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you do agree there's going to be some type of schematic change that we're going to see at least in the passing game. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Okay, coaching changes as well. Okay, here's my question. On a scale of 1 to 10, is Howie Roseman making contingency plans for the quarterback position? On a scale of 1 to 10, do you think he's addressed this, or do you think he's thinking of it yet with all the changes that they're bringing to the team this year?
I mean, I would say 5.
5? That's fair.
I think Howie tends to do things years out and multiple situations. But I mean,
Okay.
I really thought that more of the wide receiver, bringing all those guys was more about trying to replace by production of AJ Brown.
Okay, Mark, who plays the mic for you this year?
Right now, it's D. Winters at the moment.
It's not good enough.
I agree with you. But again, we didn't trade for Pickens till way after the draft. So I don't think the cake is done yet. So we're still working on it. If I look at it right now, I will say D. Winters is a lot better than Kenneth Murray. That's a start. And he's got more players around him that are going to be more dynamic. They're going to be fast.
Philly, do you think Jalen Hurts this year? Here, how about this? Do you think Jalen Hurts last year was all in on the coaching staff and their decision making on how they approached the game?
Well, I don't think he liked what they did. I don't think he wanted to do some of the things they did, but I think he gave it his 1,000% effort. I don't think he ever half-assed it in any way.
No. I'm not saying it. I'm talking about, do you think he ever bought into what they were doing last year?
No. And it was said multiple times.
Okay.
I mean, how many times
do you think he's bought in now with this new look?
We don't know yet. But from what we've heard from this point, from where we were a year ago, at 1,000%. I mean, just the way he spoke about Mannion compared to the way he spoke about Patullo is completely different. And that's really all we have to go on at this point.
Mark, for you, the UCF pick, did you think they reached for that a little bit, or did you like the Lawrence pick?
I liked it. This is without a doubt, Christian Parker allegedly for 2 weeks every day was texting Will McClay about how much he liked Malachi, as well as Clab Downs, to say, these are the guys I really and truly want. So I'm going to trust the process and see how it works out. It wouldn't be the first time we've heard that the Cowboys drafted a bum like Tyler Smith, and turns out he ends up being a stud.
Who's going to play offensive? I mean, is there a competition at offensive tackle in your opinion with the Cowboys?
I think, well, you got Big Nate that's there, of course. I think Big Nate and actually Tyler Guyton are going to be there battling out to start with. And then I think that Drew Stanton might end up also being in that mix to try and see what he can do. I don't think he'll be able to get a start, but he's going to be a good swing tackle.
Philly, 2026 offense will be what compared to here, let me give you the numbers here. And again, this is why all the changes were made. It's not shade. Total offense, they were 24th. Passing, they were 23. Run, they were 18th. Scoring, they were 19th. Third down, they were 24th. How much better in 26 do you think they're going to be this coming season?
Top 12.
Top 12.
There you go. How about that? I'll go right at it. I think it's going to be much better. I think you have competent coaching that, doesn't give away the play calls beforehand where the whole world knows what's going to be called. I think you're going to see more throws over the middle. I think we're going to use the running back in the passing game more. I think we're going to use the tight end and obviously the slot wide receiver. So, when you lose AJ Brown, are you better on paper? No. But I think that's why Howie got multiple guys to replace the numbers in a group. So I think that's what we'll see.
How many
balanced.
games do you think it's going to take for the new coordinator and the new personnel to be on the same page?
I think it takes a while. I think maybe, usually they don't play guys in preseason. So we're usually 4 weeks to even get to that point. So let's say by week 9, week 10, I think they start to get going.
Mark, I do have a question about Dak here.
Okay.
It's got to get to a point when not just the coach's seat's hot, but the quarterbacks. Listen. I think the guy throws from the pocket, regular season, all of that. You have to win that first. There's no question. I think he's one of the better passers from the pocket of any guy in the league. There's no doubt. However, again, you can't tell me this, Mark. Hey, look, I went and took the bar exam and I took it every year, but I never passed it. Taking the exam is not fucking what it's about. It's about passing the bar.
I can agree with you on that one, but you could say the same thing about Lamar. You say the same thing about Josh Allen. You could say that about a lot of guys.
But Baltimore's not Dallas.
I hear you. And Dallas, we haven't done shit.
And
in
Lamar's
30 years. I don't know why we
MVPs,
still have that moniker. But here's the thing. Typically, the problem with the Cowboys is we have about 7, 8 great players that are always Pro Bowlers. And we end up playing them to death during the season. And by the time the playoffs get here, we're worn out. The thing I see differently with this team right now is they're trying to collect as much talent as possible. If you look at the Seattle Seahawks, they didn't have a lot of superstars on that team. They had a lot of guys that were really good that they could rotate in so the players aren't worn out by the end of the season. Because you don't get stronger as the season goes on. It's just who has lost the least as it goes on. And by having better players around that are backups or role players, you'll be stronger as the season goes on.
He didn't answer your question.
No, but I agree. But Dak, yeah. Here's the thing. If we make another trade, if we get a Max Krause, there's no excuses now. You've got, unless injuries happen, you've got no excuses. This is amassing a really good team right now.
God forbid he's running.
But here's what I will say, though. I don't think it's next year. I think you need another year of seasoning, taking all these new pieces and all these players and coaches, and another year. I would say watch out for 27.
Okay, 27.
I think you should give him another 5-year extension. Just keep extending them.
Okay, well, that's funny you should say extension. How come Hurts doesn't have one?
Because the plan is to get Hurts an extension in 2027. It always was, always will be. It wasn't now. It was for 2027.
There's no money in 27. Oh, so you're saying they're going to let him go into a final year with no money in?
I think the plan was to go into next offseason all along. I think Howie, the way he operates, is he plans his stuff out years in advance, and I think he was planning all along that after the 2026 season, that's when they would look to extend them. Now, if you want to say that things come up and all of a sudden they've had a change of heart, well, that's a different story. But I think the plan, I remember when he signed that extension, I remember them talking about, when it came to 2027 would be around when he would get a new contract. So I just think it's the way it's been planned.
Mark, do you think let's go to what he's saying. Why in the world would the Philadelphia Eagles, being reported by Adam Schefter then, why would they take a 2028 draft when that's the first year they could move completely off the quarterback? Why would you, being reported right now, get this, if they trade A.J. Brown, it's the 2028 first round pick.
Yeah, that's because nobody wants to trade a first round pick in 2027. So
then trade him to somebody else. Then
I agree. I agree.
You're going to wait 34 games to get your first round pick back?
Wow.
Well, look, would you rather get a first round pick in 2028 or a second or third round pick in 27? I'd rather have the first round pick in 28 because I have ammo to move up and do something in 2027. But I think the problem is that the teams do not want to give way to that 2027 first round pick. It's supposed to be a crazy, ridiculous top end draft. And I think that's the problem. I don't think it's because they're trying to have picks to get a quarterback in 2028.
Man, I just think that's a lot. I mean, you're counting on a lot and you're guessing on a lot. I mean, that's 3 years out from now. I mean, that your team and your entire, you don't even know if Nick Sirianni's going to be there in 3 years. Let alone, I mean, Mark, what do you make of that deal there, man? Getting a 28 pick. If you trade if you trade the guy now, you don't get any immediate impact. And this is probably why they got Lemon, because Lemon's going to hopefully cover some of the production, right?
Right.
But Sills, would you want to give up? Would you take less than because you don't want to wait a year?
Well, here, okay. Well, let me ask you then. Would you rather take a 2 and a 3 in 27 or a 1 and 28?
I'd rather take a 1 and 28 because the chances are I can use that 1 and 28 to move up or do something with it if need be. I feel like that 2028, even though it's a 2028 first, you can use it in 2027 more so than you probably can use the second or third in 27.
Man, I don't even know if I'll be alive in 28.
I agree with you on that one.
Hey, I'm just saying that's an
I get it.
From now, man.
I get it.
Hey, Mark, I'll ask you this. On April 29th, 2025, compared to April 29th, 2026, are you a better roster than you were a year ago?
Without a doubt. We are. Because at this point, we didn't have Javonte Williams. We probably had signed like Miles Sanders. We hadn't gotten George Pickens. We didn't have Quentin Williams, Kenny Clark, and things. Yes, we lost Micah Parsons, but you can look at the Micah Parsons trade and say it really helped us to get 6 people. And the reason I say that is because Green Bay is paying $15 million to Kenny Clark this year, they had to fire sale some guys, and Rashawn Gary is one of those guys they had to get rid of. So for us to be able to trade him and only paying him $5.7 million. And before you Eagle fans, because see, all y'all told, oh, he's a bum, man. He's not worth crap. Your guy last year only had 3 sacks, and he's had 2 years where he had 12 sacks. But you look at the other years, it ain't that great. Only 1 year.
Whoa.
John Gary
I think Grenard's a good player.
I think he's a good player.
The guy was hurt last year. The guy couldn't even push off a block last year. The guy was played hurt all year.
Okay, time will tell.
I'm trying.
Can we say Robert Quinn?
Too hard.
No.
Robert Quinn was 36 years old. How old was he? I think it's a big difference.
Season?
He was coming off a 17 sack season, but he was 35 years old. So I don't know. I mean, yes, they gave up a third. That was one of very few of Howie's misses here. All right. Hey, a couple more here, guys. So Philly, Carter doesn't get a contract extension. He gets the 5th year picked up. What do you make of that?
I think he's going to get the extension
this year. This offseason.
Yeah, I think they want to see him come in and
No
like
way.
I think they want to see how he comes in, if he comes in shape, how he looks. I do think he's going to get an extension this year. But if you're right, and he's not, then you can apply the same thing you just said about Jalen Hurts to Jalen Carter. Why on earth would you wait an extra year for Jalen Carter to extend him? So to me, I think he gets it in camp.
So by the start of the season, you believe Jalen Carter will have a contract extension? That this is more so a placeholder.
Yeah, I think that this is just to buy time.
Okay.
I think he's getting an extension.
Mark, does Pickens play in 26? Your opener, is he in this lineup?
Yes, he is. Here's the reality of it. Let's take 2 examples. Let's take Le'Veon Bell, who got franchise tag and decided to hold out.
Lost $17 million that year.
Yeah, and then goes to the Jets and his career's over.
Yep.
Let's take a look at Kirk Cousins, who got franchise tagged twice by Washington. I believe he's the 3rd highest paid player in the history of the NFL.
He is.
Let's look at Dak Prescott, who got franchise tagged twice and bet on himself and ended up getting a $60 million contract, 3 years ago, and still the highest paid. If you're George Pickens, if you go through and say, hey, no big deal, I'll take the franchise tag, and you play well, you might be looking at $50 million next year, whether it's the Cowboys or somebody else. You holding out and causing a stink is going to devalue you and the ability to get that big contract. And if you look at George Pickens, he's only made $8 million his first 4 years. $27.5 million is a hell of a lot more to just wait to get even more.
Go ahead, Philly. Get something?
I think it's a little different though with Pickens, and the reason I say that is because Pickens is only played 1 year in Dallas. All those other guys were drafted by those organizations. So one thing that, we learn and see it kind of AJ, it's like when a guy comes over from another team, they almost,
it's a mercenary. It's a mercenary.
It's a mercenary attitude. So he's more likely to take a hardline stance against Dallas than any of those other guys.
That's possible. But
you're more mercenary when you're not homegrown.
That's right.
I can agree with that statement. What I'm saying is the best thing for him to do is take the $27 million play this year. And if it ends up being that Dallas doesn't want to pay you, if you look good and you don't cause a stink, then you can say that stuff that happened in Pittsburgh, that was, before I grew up. And somebody will pay a boatload of money.
You want to hear
or
something?
You could demand a trade.
You want to hear something that the Eagles have that's pretty incredible?
What's that?
There's only one football player in that offensive huddle that's not homegrown.
Yeah, that's crazy.
In the starting lineup. Only one guy. Now with Lemon and no AJ, only one guy in that offensive huddle. Bro, you couldn't go anywhere in the league and put that number out there.
No, that's amazing.
Cowboys have a lot of homegrown, though, in their huddle.
I'll say the only one that would be Javonte Williams and Pickens. Everybody else is all homegrown.
Man, I'll tell you, that's quite a number. You got Barkley, and pretty soon Barkley will be shipped out of there. All right, so finally here. So, Mark, I mean, Philly 500 moaning and crying like that. Is that how you saw that?
Wait a minute. Did you just say he was crying?
No. I asked you that. No. I asked you, that's how you portrayed that he was moaning and crying.
To Philly 500's credit, he lives and dies with his team. And I think all of the denial about A.J. Brown, he's not going anywhere. The fight he has put up.
Reach around, Philly.
That finally it hit him. God damn it, Mark Holmes
ain't working.
Mark was right. Damn it, I'm gonna have to face this. That's what it was.
Those 3 words were never thought. Mark Holmes was right. It never happened. 4 words. No, nobody was crying, but I was thinking about AJ like during the pick. I wasn't thinking like a lot of people interpreted as I didn't like Lemon. It had nothing to do with Lemon. It had everything to do with AJ Brown, and that situation.
Crying.
No, but nobody was crying. Nobody's crying.
Come on, Philly. You got talked into liking the Lemon pick. Come on.
No, I was more in shock. No, because I didn't think Lemon was a bad player. I hadn't even done a lot of research on the receivers still. So that's because I really didn't think they would take one. So I had no problem with Lemon at all. Hey. And what I've seen of him, I like. I just didn't think that this AJ Brown thing really was I was hoping it would somehow work out. And I got slapped in the face about it.
How about in the end, Philly? I think it's going to be the best thing because you won't have the distraction.
Hey, it will be. That could be. Hey, Philly, did you see when Caleb Downs got drafted? Holmes looked like he was a war chief going around a teepee, the way he was there in that pit. He's screaming at the top. He must have been 7 beers in, too, boy.
I bet. Are you kidding me? $21.40 a beer in that place. I wasn't spending $21.
Then knowing Mark, he was probably 3 Mad Dog 2020s in.
But you know what, Sills? After next year, when it's all said and done, we're going to look back at that moment and was going to say that was the Cowboys' greatest moment of the year, that draft pick, because the rest of it stinks.
Okay.
Mark, are you winning?
Dallas ain't shit, dude.
You winning? Are you?
It's still a little early to have predictions like that. I will say I think the team is definitely a better team right now than we were this time last week.
Are you sweeping them this year or are you beating them 1-1?
Had CeeDee Lamb not dropped the damn ball, we would have swept them last year.
You did.
The Eagles didn't give up a 21-point lead because of the prevent offense. We would have swept the Cowboys.
Hey, how about
you could say that Mark, about anything.
You had the best record in the NFC East last year.
We've always been good in the NFC East. If we could just play the Eagles in the playoffs, we got to change it.
Yet they can't repeat the division title one time. The guy can't win. Guy can't sniff a championship.
Laugh now, Philly. Laugh now.
I've been laughing for 30 years, and it's going to continue.
You guys. You guys are some of the best content creators there is. And like I said, War Chief Holmes there in Pittsburgh, man, I was quite right there, right next to the Mahangahila. He looked like he fit right in there, boy. Hey, how much was the food? How much was the food there?
Like I said, a beer was $21.40 inside.
Wow.
A burger was $14. Hot dog was $12. Bottled water or Gatorade was $7.
How was the experience though, being at the draft? Part of the 805,000 people that showed up.
It was nice. Now we got a great spot. We actually live streamed the whole time. Had a great signal from the NFL. They're getting good with the Wi-Fi and stuff. The crowd had fun. It's although once the Eagles swooped up and took their guy, and then the Steelers picked, it was like the mass exodus of all these Steeler fans. You start hearing crickets right after that. But it was a great experience. The NFL is getting good because I was at the first draft in Chicago when they started having a football village and stuff, and it just gets bigger and bigger and bigger each year. And next year in DC, they'll really be able to put because it's going to be on the mall. You can put 1 million people out there, and they're going to
put 1 million people in there.
Yeah, they've got the subway system with 4 stops that are right there on the mall. It will be crazy, and I will be there.
So
you gonna join me, Philly?
Oh wait!
No.
I envision Philly 500 and Mark Holmes like something out of Forrest Gump. You guys going to jump off the podium, and Philly's going to be in the pond, and these two guys are finally going to come into the pond there. They're going to shake hands, and this thing's going to be all kumbaya. Eagles and Cowboy fans are going to unite right there in the National Mall in Washington, D.C., the same place that MLK spoke.
We did unite against the Steelers, apparently.
So
that worked out pretty good.
Okay.
All right. Awesome stuff. Make sure you check out their fabulous work. Guys, thank you so much. By the way, before you go, Mark, what's the shirt say?
Oh, upon further review, Eagles still stink.
I think that said suck, but we're good.
Oh, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mark, Philly, any party shot?
Yeah, go have a nice cry, Mark. Cry, baby.
Oh, man.
I'll watch your video so I learn how to.
Go ahead. Oh, just watch your own. You tell your wife to pick you up off the floor. Bring a pillow in that bathroom next time, so you can sleep.
I will see you guys soon. Thank you so much, my guys. Absolutely great, man. These guys are awesome. What a great battle royale. Mark comes in hanging in there with Philly's crying, and he sent me that too. He was probably now that I found out what the price of the beers were, he's probably a half a beer in and half a hot dog in. And he goes, you gotta see this. He's just freaking moaning. Holy cow. Good stuff, guys. I appreciate you. Make sure you check out their great work. All right, my great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the number one injury law firm in all of America, for a reason. This is because these guys absolutely get it. My friends in Pennsylvania here, man, they were initially offered a family, $650K. They got nearly $30 million in settlement. Or how about the family in Florida that was offered $350K? They got nearly $12 million in recovery. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Mm-hmm. Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the jet setters and the high rollers, to the shot takers and the tastemakers. Welcome to the viewfinders, the thrill seekers, and the night owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Great stuff as always, guys, especially just a couple days after the draft. Let's go back and get some of these supers here that I didn't get here. So let's go here. Congrats, one guy and the least important position on D. This is without a doubt the best segment between these two ever. There you go. Hey, it's good when Mark at least has something in his hand. You know what I mean? All Mark does is gaslight, attack, and try to defend his baseless claims. F Mark. Look at that Eagle fan coming in strong. In fact, Mark Combs got drunk over a guy leaving. Oh, man. Dude literally falls out of chairs over a game. Liar. His own daughter asked him, "Are you crying, Dad?" Oh, man. Philly. Shoo. I got to say, man, if I had to make a call on that, man, it looked like there were tears in there. Let's see here. Let's go down. I thought I could have swore I saw some tears there too. I don't know, man. It looked like yeah, Philly was I don't know, man. I think Philly got talked into that Mekhi Lemon pick. Philly, I think you got talked into it, dude. Because your expression when that thing was first announced did not look happy. Giants are climbing in the NFC East really fast. Yeah, they are. Yes, they are. I'm enjoying this. The G-Man Sith Empire continues to come to fruition while I see chaos with everyone else. I think the Giants, we'll see. It's got to come down to the quarterback. If Dart's good, they're going to be good. If Dart's not good, like Zander says, they're not going anywhere. Seals, you see the Eagles bringing in David Akers' son for a tryout. Kicker, punter. I saw that. So David Akers' son is now trying out for the team. I mean, are you going to take this position serious? He sucked the last 2 years. I mean, watching him live, I think he was on the verge of really breaking down. Looked like tears to me. His sidekick didn't say a word when live. The conspiracy theory of whether or not Philly 500 truly likes the Mekhi Lemon pick, I think is still in debate. Because if you saw his face, I don't know. It didn't look like he was a real true believer in that pick. Listen, he's a good player, but I don't think that's exactly where he thought they were going. And then the realization that AJ's gone. Does Howie feel that with Hurts, wants to move on, best is behind him? That's why we asked that question. The contingency plan. Isn't it funny? Sasha, I brought up every single thing that led you to believe that they were moving on. And then when I asked the question, do you think they have a contingency plan for the quarterback? The answer's to some, no. So watch. You're changing the offense. You're going to Sean McVay. You hired a boatload of pass receivers. You drafted a guy in the first round. You spent $13 million on a guy. But yet when you ask the question about the quarterback, no, there's no contingency plan. When the guy has never shown any propensity to have a spread offense. I don't understand. You set the question up with everyone saying the other things, and then when you go to the quarterback, no. I mean, I think those are people living in denial, like they were with A.J. Brown. Half this room, from January until the realization of that pick the other night, half the room believed A.J. Brown was coming back. Now that number is clearly 80-20. There's still idiots that still believe that he's coming back. Well, that'll end. Seals, you were asking if there's a plan. What is the plan? Are you asking if they're going to either change with or without Hurts? The answer is yes. Curtis, all I asked is all the moves they've made. Okay? Do you think Howie has a plan without Hurts? On a scale of 1 to 10, what would that be? Even Philly said 5. I think that's fair. There's no plan on moving on in Cincinnati without Joe Burrow. There's no plan in Baltimore on moving on without Lamar or Allen. Did you hear the general manager say this? So let me read you something, okay? I want to read you something here. Let's go here, okay? Hold on for a second. I want to read you something. So let me give you, by the way, here's the new, here's the schedule that was just released. So the Eagles, May 26th and 27th, then the 29th, 1st and 2nd and 4th are OTAs. Mandatories 9 to 10. Rookie minicamp is 1 through 2. So I want to read you something about what a general manager said about their quarterback. And then you tell me if you've heard any of this in Philly. Okay, so let me give you this. I want to get this note that I got from the Bucks. Okay, here it is. So here's what Jason Light said yesterday, the general manager of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. When asked about Mayfield's contract extension, Buccaneers have their quarterback in Baker Mayfield. Where do you think, this was a local interview that he did, Jason Light. Where do things stand when it comes to Mayfield getting a new deal? Jason Light, he was asked this question. Baker is at the forefront of our minds at all times. All of our plans revolve around Baker. That's something that we'll get to at some point. I have a lot of discussions with Baker about the team. We text during the draft about some of the picks. I know he's excited about the players that we took. We have a great relationship. Listen, Nobody here wants Baker playing for any other team. So I'll just leave it at that, and we'll get to his contract. I don't hear the Eagles talking like that about Hurts. Where have you heard that? Light said they're going to do everything in their power to make sure the guy doesn't play anywhere else. Where in God's name have you heard any of that? That's a GM talking about their quarterback. Everything we do centers around Baker Mayfield. They're not saying that in Philly. They're not doing any of that. That general manager came out and without a doubt said, we're working on it now with Baker, and this will get done. I haven't heard any of that. Jalen has stated he wanted the straitjacket off. Well, here's your shot. He got the changes he wanted, so it's on him to produce. Correct. Philly 500 had a reason to cry. Drafted a guy in the first who won't contribute because the quarterback doesn't utilize his slot receiver. Well, that's supposed to change this year. You can't compare them to quarterbacks. Look at Hurts' career and look at his career. Not sure if you're talking Dak. Okay? I mean, you heard Jason Light talking. Jason Light is talking about Mayfield, and Mayfield's involved in every decision that's made on the roster. I guarantee you when they were deciding to move off of Mike Evans, that they contacted Baker Mayfield first and told him that they were moving off of Baker or off of Mike Evans. I mean, the Buccaneers did everything in their power. Okay? They did everything in their power to do and to make that an offer that he would want to stay. Oh, yeah. Sills, Baker's their guy. Yes. I haven't been a Jalen nonchalant attitude. Neither he's a leader. He should be closer to the team. I don't really know that. I don't know if he's like, a guy that's like not. People say he's not approachable. I still think they should have left the offense the way it was. I agree, Michael. Adding some plays, let the line get healthy and address it in the offseason. I agree. Yes. Yes, I agree. Baker has never done anything. Again, guy, that's such a dumbass take. Baker's never done anything. And he's on the cusp of getting a $55 million deal. He's on the, yeah, okay. Well, let me ask you this. You think Cleveland screwed him over? You think being in Cleveland was a bad or good thing for his career? You think name me one quarterback who's had success in 30 years, except for Mayfield in Cleveland. Name me one quarterback in 30 years. They've had 4 winning teams in 34 years. 4 winning seasons. And that's on him? This guy's a dumbass. Sometimes you get drafted to shitty play. Okay. What has Myles Garrett done? Is that what you're saying about Myles Garrett too? What has he done? Oh, he's just a dumbass. I see. Baker tried so hard in Cleveland. Shiver never let him walk. By the way, James, if they had to do that all over again, you think the Cleveland Browns would want Baker Mayfield back instead of letting him walk out the building? You think they'd want him back instead of giving Deshaun Watson that $230 million contract? Do you? Oh, Sue, we're going to find the truth out this year. You wait, hon. We're going to get the truth. Justice. The Big Sills way. You know what's going to be a great year for me? Woo, baby. I can't wait to the end of the season. Oh, this is going to be a Grand Slam year. You can guarantee it's going to be out there. Because I'll give you an image, Sue. Jalen Hurts is going to be put on a stage in a bikini for all of his flaws to be seen. Whether he goes out there, walks up and down the runway, and comes back a supermodel, we're going to find out. Sills, realistically, if you want to replace Jalen, no thank you to Dante Moore. I don't like Dante Moore either. The kid in Oregon. You know, when people keep saying, Kyle, that next year's draft got all these superstar quarterbacks in it, where? The kid at Ohio State stinks, saying. The kid Sellers at South Carolina, maybe. He looks like a Cam. Show me another guy. Arch and who? Trinidad Chambliss? Trinidad Chambliss looks like a gadget guy. Name me a guy where you went, hey, that guy. I mean, where are these quarterbacks? Like, what quarterback last year blew your socks off? Even Mendoza. No, was there one guy? I don't remember that guy. I mean, I think you're going to see a lot of good football players. By the way, remember I told you a story here? Here's what's going to happen. Because this class was lesser in depth for rounds 2 through 7, 2 years from now, the draft is going to be packed with great football players, rounds 1 through 7. You know why? In 3 years, do you guys agree with me on this? In 3 years, a guy who's taken in the 4th round would have went in the 2nd round this year. Guys that are going to come out in 3 years. You know why? There's going to be a log jam. All these kids are eventually going to have to come out of college. And right now, because of nil and transfer, these kids are staying in school now. We've been bringing this up to you. It changed the dynamic of the draft. You're paying guys in rounds 3, 4, and 5 decent money for guys who should be 7th rounders or UDFAs. But in 3 years from now, guys in the 4th round, you could put them in this draft, this recent draft, they'd be 2nd rounders. There's going to start being a log jam of really good football players. That's going to start in about 3 years. Seals, what do you think about the Nigerian freak? Hey, like I said, I think he's got Myles Garrett's measurables without his tape and without his skill. I don't know what else to say. I mean, yeah, I've never seen him make a tackle. I've never seen him put his hand in the dirt. There's no tape on him. I don't know. So you drafted a weight room guy. Okay. So, I mean, I don't really – I'm not either on him. I don't know. I have no idea. He sure looks like a great athlete. But I've seen – hey, how about this? Tom Brady's not a great athlete. Peyton Manning's not a great athlete. I mean, every single time somebody tells me, like when a quarterback or whatever, guy runs a 4.3, great. First time, when Justin Fields, people came to me and said, you see Justin Fields ran a 4.4? I went, so what? He's a bum. If that's the case, I'd keep my window open now to make a run. Teams may drop off until those drafts. Keep core team together, win now. Sasha, I think that's what Howie did with this draft. Went best player, best player, best player, because he knew the draft was thin. And that's why you go best player for the next 3 years. By the way, guys, I think we just figured it out. Yale. Think of this. You guys tell me if you agree. Does Howie Roseman think the 2028 draft is going to be a great draft because all the nil kids are going to finally catch up? And that's where it's really going to be deep in 3 years? Because I think the draft is going to be deep in 3 years. Because all those nil kids who are staying in college, look at all those kids that stayed in college, the Chandlers of the world, petitioning to get another eligibility. You push the kids behind them back. I think he thinks the 28 draft is going to be a better draft than the 27 draft. That's the only way you could think that makes sense. That draft is going to be better because of nil, and it will be deeper. He's playing the long game with the draft and with the talent. I got to tell you, I've never seen an NFL draft so limited in talent. Like, there was probably 150 guys that were like legitimate draft guys. Maybe 140 that you could have went, yeah, that's draftable players. There's 257 guys that go. There's like 110 guys that shouldn't have been drafted. That won't be the case in 3 years. Think about that. 3 years from now, the 28 draft is going to be way better and deeper. Like I said, a second round pick, third round pick this year, those guys would be ones. Okay, or here, some of these guys that went in the bottom of the first round, like in the bottom of the first round this year, they would be third, fourth round picks in 28 because they're going to be so deep. Pavia said he's going to get payback on everyone that passed on him. Hey, did he say that standing on a step stool? I think that guy's a bum. Get this. I think that guy's a bum as a dude. The drafted players will be older and more experienced. Correct. And more skilled. Lemon would have been a second in a normal draft. No way. No way. Everyone says that who gets passed up. Passed up. In a shitty draft, Des, think about, I'm not ripping you, Des, but Des, think about it. In a shitty draft, Pavia, the Eagles took a dude who's never played football in his entire life with the 7th round. And this guy was like in line to be the SEC player of the year. And nobody liked him. I mean, really? At the most needed position, even stiffs get drafted. Guys, help me out. Did Nate Sudfeld get drafted? Did he play at Pitt? Did Nate Sudfeld play at Pitt? I forget. Where the hell did he play his college ball? Was he a Pittsburgh guy? I mean, Nate Sudfeld's like a ice cream cup holder. I mean, Pavey and Doug Flutie, same height. Dude, Doug Flutie was a really good football player. And the only reason Doug Flutie's not in Canton is because he is short. Pavia has no skill set next to Doug Flutie. I'll tell you one of the things. Let me show you this. I'll tell you one thing about Doug Flutie. I've never seen a guy with bigger hands. Dude, this guy, for a little tiny guy, Doug Flutie's got gargantuan hands. Let me see if I got this. Oh, by the way, you want to see an old school picture of Big Sills? That's my last day at the Orange Bowl. Right there. Jimmy let me go out to the middle of the field We were getting ready to play Florida. And I got a chance to say bye to the 80,000 fans that day. The game was on TV. And then that Sunday, I was a Buccaneer. So right there, yeah, that's Big Sills right there. My last day at the Orange Bowl. How you doing? Oh, Sudfeld was an IU kid. I didn't realize that. Hold on here. There's Big Sills and Doug Flutie. Some bitch. Every single time that pass shows up, man. Doug Flutie texts me. How you doing? Thank you, brother. I had 11% body fat back then. God knows what happened. I did. I was 280-some pounds, and I had 11% body fat. Whew. Would you consider moving Stowers to AJ's position and just draft Goddard replacement next year? I see where you're going. If the guy's never really played out wide, and you know what? To answer you, I don't know if they're going to flex guys out. I don't know. Did Pickens sign his franchise tag? Let's see here. Pickens. Did he just sign George Pickens has signed his franchise tag. So here's it right here. George Pickens is guaranteed $27.3 million this season. It gives him injury protection as well. Yes, theoretically, it opens up the possibility of a trade, but Stephen Jones said the Cowboys have no intention of dealing him. So he has now signed he's now $27 million. Holy cow. There's no way the Cowboys trade him unless it's for somebody like a Max Crosby. I'd extend Tanner until the 2028 draft in case Hurts doesn't work out. Who's coming out that draft? 2028. Again, it's hard to project because of transfer portal and eligibility status. I don't know what the NCAA is going to do. If they're going to institute that, you're going to get like 6 years to play 5. 28 quarterback prospects. 2028 quarterback prospects, NFL draft. Let's see here. Yeah. There's a kid at St. Joe's Prep, by the way. Christopher Vargas. I don't know if Z knows him. But that Christopher Vargas kid's supposed to be a top flight kid. And he's at St. Joe's right now. And supposedly, here's the problem that you're getting in college, too. A lot of kids aren't being recruited out of high school any longer like they did in the past because you're going to go into the transfer portal now and find a kid. So recruiting high school kids is becoming harder and harder and harder to go. And you got to be one of the top 1% guys. Like, I don't know, for me, if I wouldn't have to go to another school before I got to Miami. Fernando Mendoza had to transfer from Cal to Indiana to get an opportunity and make the money. Maybe I would have to too. I don't know. If you look at give me the list of the Heisman Trophy winners here. I'll give you here. Think about this. How many of the last 5 Heisman winners entered the transfer portal. So get this. 3 of the last 5 Heisman winners entered the transfer portal during their college careers. Okay? And the ones that weren't were Bryce Young and Devontae Smith. Jaden Daniels, Arizona State to LSU. Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams. Joe Burrow. Fernando Mendoza. 7 of the last, here's another one. 7 of the last 10 Heisman Trophy winners, and 4 in a row now, have all been transfers. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Travis Hunter, and Fernando Mendoza. 4 transfers in a row. So you're seeing a new age now. And you're not going to see a lot of kids coming out of high school any longer getting recruited, because these big programs are going to go into the transfer portal and do it. Will that affect how many players come out each year for draft? Oh, yes. Our high school here has problems getting numbers to play football. Which school there, Sasha? I'd be curious to know. I just found out we are up to World War XI. Okay. It's new age. Oh, yeah. So, like, this coming draft here is going to be a pretty good draft. The 2028 draft is going to be insane great. 2024 was a good class. Listen, this last class was not strong. Howie did it right. I would have done the same thing. Once I was at 23, I said, who's the last kid on the board we like? You know what Mekhi Lemon was? Howie got to 23 and hated everybody that was going to be there. Howie's sitting at 23 going, the next move would have been to trade out of the first round. And he at least wanted to get a player. And he said, what's the biggest issue right now? It's A.J. Brown. And he looked up and he went, since one of the offensive linemen went, he must have looked up and went, who's the last guy we have on our board? He looked at him, was Mekhi Lemon, and said, grab him. Grab him. He thought there were probably 15 players in the draft. That's why he moved up to 20. Okay? Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know. I think the Steelers would have grabbed Lemon. I think the Steelers would have grabbed him. Dude, do I think Lemon's the top 15 player in last year's college football? Yeah. Yeah, I do. After 15, I told you guys the whole draft process. There's not a lot of good guys in this thing. Like, from like 15 down, like those guys next 2 years would be drafted in the 3rd or 4th round, bottom of the 2nd round. Dude, those guys that went from 16 down were not first round draft choices. Every player, it was cherry pie and apple pie. Howie's the best GM in the NFL here. I mean, Zander's not wrong when he says that comment about Howie, but I think he dismissed John Schneider because he's in Seattle. So let me see here. Who are the GMs with the most Super Bowls? With the most Super Bowls. since you guys value Super Bowls, current list. Okay. So let's take a look here. So John Schneider's got 3. Brett Veach has 3. Howie has 2. Les Snead has 1. Jason Light has 1. Yeah, Elliot Wolf doesn't get credit for that. Leading. Yeah. I think Casario's pretty good in Houston. He's a good talent evaluator. I think that I think Andy Reid and Brett Veach are good. I think Les Snead has done a really nice job in Los Angeles. He's done a nice job. Where was I? I think Brian Gutekunst in Green Bay is a good one. He's not in Howie and Schneider's league. I think Brad Holmes has had a pretty good run. I don't think this past draft was great. I think Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch are good, but you gotta win one. I can't stand Brandon Beane. I think he's terrible. I think Jason Light's a little overrated. I don't know what the hell they're doing in Minnesota. Boy, I tell you what, John McMullen loves those Minnesota Viking guys, doesn't he? Jerry Jones is all over the place. I think Duke Tobin in Cincinnati knows what he's doing. I think Omar Khan is average in Pittsburgh. I think he's average. Mickey Loomis has lost his fastball in New Orleans. This guy's a Super Bowl general manager, and I think he's lost his fastball. I think Ryan Poles is getting better. Chris Ballard is a little bit inconsistent. I think Dan Morgan's doing a pretty decent job in Carolina. Joe Schoen's awful. I think Gladstone, this kid in Jacksonville, I think he's coming around. I think he's not bad. And I think John Spytek with the Raiders, we'll see what he's doing. Seals, would you rank John McVay as a general manager during the so where would you rank John McVay as a GM of the 49ers during the Niner era? One of the greatest of all time. He built a football team in the 80s. Their first and second teams were just insane. That 84, 85, 86 49ers team, their second team guys could have won Super Bowls. They were freaking amazing in talent evaluation. I mean, I think T.O. was a third rounder. Steve Young was a supplemental guy. Montana was a third rounder. Randy Krause was not a first rounder. I mean, Charles Haley wasn't a first rounder. Ronnie Lott was. That entire secondary wasn't. Jerry Rice was a gamble. Mississippi Valley State. Their tight ends, they developed. Getting Roger Craig, I think, in the second or third round, they were just sensational at talent evaluating. I mean, they were just all over the place. They were just so good. Is Howie a Hall of Fame GM right now for retired? Man, he's got an awful impressive resume. He really does. I mean, I think the way that he's going to be remembered most is because how he was able to manipulate the salary cap. And then he evolved into being a personnel guy. That doesn't happen. Bookworms are never good at personnel. I can't think of a bookworm outside of him. That's why I used to call him a librarian or an overrated CPA. Is because he's a numbers guy. He's not a personnel guy. That's changed. He's evolved into being a personnel guy. And it's quite impressive. You know, when you're somebody like that, that means you're listening. For me, I think probably now he has to put more wins up, but I think the 2 Super Bowls, look, he's not in Bobby Beathard yet. Beathard won 4 Super Bowls, maybe 5 Super Bowls with the Dolphins and the with the Washington Redskins then. But I think he's better than Bill Polian. And Bill Polian's in the Hall of Fame. Bill Polian's got 1 ring. And by the way, Bill Polian took credit for the Buffalo Bills and building that team. That was John Butler. John Butler died of cancer. And that dude took credit for John Butler's work and building and getting Kelly in there and Andre Reed and all them guys. He didn't do that shit. That was all John Butler who did that. All right, guys, I got to pay some bills. Our great friends at Morgan & Morgan, the #1 injury law firm in all of America for a reason. It's because they win. Easiest decision you will ever make in your life is going with my friends at Morgan & Morgan if you're ever injured on the job. Folks, John Morgan started this company because his brother got hurt and it became a crusade. Do me a favor. Go to forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Love 529. That's forthepeople.com/Big Sills or Pound Love 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sills sent you.
There's a reason Detective Johnson is the gossip king.
Oh, did you hear? Jackie and Tom
are getting a divorce? Sad.
Well, I heard that Ashley
had work done on her face? Yeah, oof.
Just like there's a reason Morgan & Morgan is America's largest injury law firm. Injured? With over $25 billion recovered for our clients, there's a reason to go big.
Bathroom? Okay.
Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Oh, okay.
Ignite your nights with free live entertainment daily, only at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia's Center Bar. 7 days a week, enjoy some of the region's top party bands, performers, and DJs as they take the stage in the heart of the casino action. Great cocktails, live music, and lively moments. It's all happening at Center Bar at Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. Visit livecasinophilly.com for more details and the complete list of upcoming events. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome to the Jet Setters and the High Rollers, to the Shot Takers and the Tastemakers. Welcome to the Viewfinders, the Thrill Seekers, and the Night Owls. Welcome to everything you could possibly want on one 5-mile island. Welcome to the Wildwoods. Book your stay today.
In our hometown, we all look out for each other. We go the extra mile to lend a helping hand. We step up to keep our communities going strong. And at Independence Blue Cross, we're here to keep you going strong. We've been deeply rooted in our communities for more than 85 years. And that connection to members has earned us our spot as the #1 health insurer in the region. So while you look out for your neighbors, know IBX is always looking out for you.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on Sports Grid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. the New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on Sports Grid.
EAGLES. Eagles.
Guys, do me a favor. Please hit the like button. Appreciate you very much. We will see you tomorrow going 2 to 6, and we'll see you on the flip side.